Maybe that's a door. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start the stream. We're going to go ahead and at least get this started. Nate is on his way. I just got his text like 2 minutes ago. Who are seeing this later or tuning in now. Fantasy Football Stock Report 2018 kicks off, at least for us, tonight. It is draft night, and this is always something to look forward to. It's like we say every year, it's the start. It is where you kind of put the building blocks in place to get the wheels going. I think that's him now coming to the door, hopefully. But this is where it all begins. This is year 13. Hopefully not an unlucky number. So nice of you to text 2 minutes before I go live. Sorry. It's all right. Matt didn't respond either. So come on over. Have a chair. I know that. I know. I know. I know that. I know. I know. Oh? Maybe. It's a maybe. Nate.
Alcohol we were drinking last night, lack of sleep,
Ooh.
food, I don't know.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
So, after the last 3 years.
3 years, yes.
Yes, yeah. It's
3
it's
years
a fresh
of
start.
major suckery.
Not really suckering that we weren't the worst team in the league, but not good enough to make the postseason.
It's hard, even in fantasy football. There's only, what, 4 or 5 teams that make the playoffs?
There's only 4, yeah. Only 4, and only 4 make the playoffs in a 12-team league. So, yeah, it does. You got to be either the best in your division or the best of a non-division winner to be the wild card. So, yeah, it is a challenge. But, here's the thing. A, you got to put together a good roster at the start. And then B, you got to navigate throughout the season with all the changes and hope that the moves you make pay off.
Right.
And I think not only has that hurt the last couple of years, you've had waiver moves that haven't paid off, but injuries. And that's something you can't control.
We have injuries to our main roster. Then we get players off of waivers. Then a week later,
they get hurt.
Waiver wire.
Yeah.
Pardon me to use the term, but what we think are our saviors, they get hurt.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, by the time you're replacing the injured players and the players you replace get injured, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel eventually.
Pretty much.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, you really are, and the options are less than desirable.
Right. And I know it's football. I know people get hurt, but dang.
Right. But this is the starting point, and and I read all the time. It's like your week 1 roster, like, it sets the foundation for the season, but it probably won't be the same as it was 9-10 weeks in. If that's the case, you're a very lucky GM. But this tonight, for any of you that do your drafts, the draft night sets kind of the scale for the way maybe your season's going to go, but it's the first building block. It's
And what do we say every year? Maybe we ought to just quit saying it.
Best draft ever. Yeah.
It's like, oh man,
it looks good on paper. Yeah.
I'm not superstitious, but
right.
Is jinxes real? I don't know.
I don't know.
Are jinxes real?
Right. Right.
It's like, oh, best draft ever, and then they get hurt in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Stay healthy.
Right.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the big thing. Well, and thankfully, so far, at least in training camps, I mean, there haven't. Okay, I will say this though: there have been a slew of players that have torn their ACLs. I think we're up to 9 at this point. But in terms of skill players, guys that you actually draft, I think there's only like one notable name, and that was Hunter Henry, the tight end from the Chargers. but aside from that, it's mainly been secondary guys like linebackers, guys who don't normally play for fantasy purposes. So that's been the fingers crossed silver lining so far, but it's still kind of odd that we've seen all those happen in the first couple weeks of training camps. And that happened to the Chargers. I read that story, and they're actually thinking of re-signing Antonio Gates as a result.
Okay.
Longtime Charger tight end, because Henry was their starter and he got hurt. So they're thinking of bringing back like an old legend.
Antonio Gates still with the Chargers or not?
I don't think he was anymore because they drafted Henry to be their guy, and then he gets hurt, and then it's like the guys behind him aren't very established, and so they wanted to find a valued asset. So that's the big thing.
My question, yes, Antonio Gates is a legend, long-term Charger legend and all that,
right.
But can he still do it?
Exactly. Does he still have it? Right. That's
at least
the big
enough
question.
To do something.
Right.
Or does he want to stay, retired and out of the spotlight? I don't know if he officially retired yet, but
right. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think, and maybe not. I
just want to calm down a little bit.
Right, of course.
Because a football career isn't for the rest of your life. I think I read the typical career for a healthy quarterback, is anywhere from, I think, 5 to 7 years or something.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And of course, you get your Brett Favre's, you get your Peyton Mannings, you get your Tom Brady's that can play
well into their 40s. Brady just turned 41. Yeah.
You get these, certain positions that can play like huge. Positions that can play like huge.
Yeah.
But it's because they don't really take much punishment. You got kickers playing into their 50s.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes because they don't get hit.
No, they don't.
Yeah. And when you don't get hit, your body doesn't take those bumps and bruises. You can play on it. But yeah.
Speaking of kickers, I don't know if you remember. I remember Mike Nugent.
Yes.
He just got re-signed this week. Well, not re-signed, but he got signed by the Raiders.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they're one of the guy that we thought would start, Giorgio Tavecchio. He got released. So then one of their undrafted free agents is taking the starting job, but they probably brought in Nugent for some veteran presence. So that was kind of surprising.
Yeah. I was just gonna say how far back.
Yeah, 2 from 50 plus. So
and unfortunately, it's the kickers that are most protected.
Yeah.
Of all in my opinion, your quarterback should be the one that's most protected, but your kickers,
Andrew Luck would agree to that.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
Behind the Colts' terrible offensive line, although they've gotten better. Because Ballard addressed that in the draft, and.
Oh my gosh! You mean they actually did something right this year?
Yeah. They actually drafted an offensive lineman first pick, Quentin Nelson out of Notre Dame, and from all I've read, from all I've read, he's going to be a strong protector. So the line is better. But the Colts. I mean, we talk about the Colts. The big question mark, of course.
Draft offensive linemen all your 7 picks or whatever.
Well, yeah.
7 rounds.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. The Colts are still. I mean, the Colts are going to go as far as Luck's health is going to carry them, and that's the big question mark. And that's why I'm hesitant to draft him as like a backup. I don't want to draft Andrew Luck to be a starting quarterback. Not this year. I don't. And even as a QB2, I don't know, but because all it boils down to his health. But here's the thing. The Colts don't have many weapons. They, compared to what the rest of the AFC South has, they don't have many offensive weapons. We already know the running backs are going to be a committee. The Colts have 4 running backs now. You realize this? Marlon Mack, Robert Turbin, although he's suspended the first 4 games, and then they drafted 2 rookies in the draft. What confidence do they have in Marlon Mack, a guy that they just drafted 2 years ago, when you're drafting 2 more running backs in the draft? None.
And he didn't play for crap.
And Mac did nothing. Well, Turbin did a little nothing, yeah. But Mac really didn't do much of anything either.
Turbin was the starter for the last couple of years. Then I don't even remember seeing this Mac kid playing.
He was a rookie last year out of South Florida. He was a rookie, and he was thought to be the replacement.
Okay,
and
so
he
this
didn't
is
do
the second
year. He didn't do much of anything though last year though. Yeah. So it really shows you, like in my eyes, it's like, okay, the Colts draft 2 rookie running backs now in this draft. What confidence then do you have in Marlon Mack to be your guy? I see it as none. But clearly. So I don't want to trust any. And I think the only position players really you can trust from the Colts, really, in fantasy purposes, are T.Y. Hilton and Jack Doyle at tight end.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Because the Colts receivers, maybe Ryan Grant if you're desperate, because they signed Ryan Grant and he's okay, not great, but aside from that, they don't have much. And the AFC South just keeps getting stronger every single year, and that's what worries me when it comes to a Colts perspective. It's like Houston's going to be stronger again this year as long as Watson stays healthy. They got Watt back.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, we know last year got to the AFC title game and hung with New England and didn't beat them in the end, but they hung around. They were leading, I think, first half?
Yeah.
And so we know Jacksonville's still going to be strong, and Tennessee seems to be getting better every year because you still got Mariota, you still got you got in the backfield now you got Derrick Henry and Deion Lewis, you got a weapon in Davis and wide receiver and Matthews, and so the AFC South is going to be tricky for the Colts. I really
think. We have Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison back?
No kidding. Speaking of Hall of Famers, or soon to be, hopefully will soon be Hall of Famers, Nate and I watched the Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony last night, and that was outstanding, by the way.
I think Marvin Harrison's already in, isn't he?
Did he get in already?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
You sure?
Yeah.
Why do I not remember that? Like, honestly, why do I not remember that Marvin got in? I
think he did.
So now I'm gonna have to
Wayne
check.
might not be.
No, I know Wayne isn't yet because I don't even think he's eligible yet.
I was thinking that Harrison's already in. Marvin Harrison. I wouldn't if he's not. I would be totally shocked. As good of a player.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, got elected in 2016. Yeah, that's right. Because same year Dungy did. That's right.
Yes.
Okay. I should have remembered that, and some reason didn't. But
then again, I don't think once you're elected to the Hall, I don't think you can play.
No. I think that's true. Yeah.
Because you have to be out for 5 years until you're eligible.
Yeah.
So seriously, hey Marvin, get your wife pregnant and start popping out babies with your genetic makeup or something.
Right.
Hell, I don't know what to say.
I look, after the Colts went 4-12 last year, there's nowhere to go but up. I mean, but I don't even know if they're going to get the schedule this year. Did the Colts no favors? Like the schedule is brutal, and
either that or I know Luck is healthy.
Yeah, and so far there's
good on him.
Yeah.
I hope he stays healthy.
Yes.
But, it's like we need to. I got something.
Okay.
We need to not draft any good players because the good players are going to want the contract, and then we need to offer someone like Breeze a fat wallet or something. We need to.
Well, how many years though do you think Breeze has left?
I don't know. But my point is, and as much as I hate to say it, as much as this is going to make me sick, we need to offer a Breeze a fat wallet or a Brady a fat wallet. Somebody.
Did you hear what Irsay said lately?
That's going to be good, that has been healthy. No, what did Irsay say?
Okay, Irsay said two really stupid things recently. You're gonna love these.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
You drunk lush.
Yeah, you're gonna love these. He first said that he would not trade Jacoby Brissett, the backup, for a first-round pick. So I don't know if he really thinks Brissett is that good or what have you, but yeah, he would not even trade him for a first-round pick.
Okay.
That took me aback.
Okay.
I don't know why he so highly values Brissett when he was the starter last year and the Colts went 4-12. I I don't know. That to me is, I think the CBS Sports article said twice. That means it's on borderline insane.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Say, lay off the sauce.
Yeah. Why would you not do that?
Like,
when you have holes at so many other positions, why would you not do that?
I think he's been drunk one too many times, killed too many brain cells.
And then he said this, and then he said this, and this
Something
one.
more stupid?
Yes, this one made me
gracious.
laugh. No, this one made me genuinely laugh. He said that this season, Marlon Mack will rush for 1,500 yards. Dude, if Marlon Mack rushes for 1,500 yards this year, I will shave my head bald.
You serious?
You want to do it?
I will hold you to that. I may not, because I look like when I'm bald.
1,500 yards. No fucking way.
Not with that line.
No, and not with 4 running backs. You even said you're going to employ a committee. No way he rushes for 1,500 yards. None.
Now watch him take off.
I would be stunned. I would honestly be stunned.
Yeah.
When have the Colts last been a running team? Edgerrin James or Joseph Adai, right? Or one of the two, right?
Well, let's see.
When they've had a true running threat.
Well, let's see. Marshall Faulk.
Yeah. Faulk.
Joseph
James, Adai.
Edgerrin James.
That's pretty much it.
Actually, James was
before Adai, yeah.
So
that's
Faulk,
James Adai.
and Adai.
And after that, no one really shined. Yeah.
And even then, they only lasted a few years. I mean, the best running back in our lifetime. That I remember is Faulk.
Would you say Frank Gore qualified?
Not really.
No.
Because when he, like you said, when they got him from the 49ers,
yeah,
he was on his way out as far as his career anyway.
And he did okay, but not elite. No.
Oh, man.
No. RB2, yes, but not elite. No.
He's good on the video game.
He is good on the game. Not gonna lie. Yes.
Freaking, I forget.
Shameless plug. Madden 19 releases this week.
I forget who, but last year I was playing an NFL season, and
if you believe in the Madden
Turbin,
it
was Turbin.
Yeah.
Turbin got hurt out for the season, so I had to use Gore. I'm like, crap. Okay. But then
didn't do too bad.
I hit the HB stretch. He runs for 80 yards on his first play when I'm using him. Like, why can't you be that dang good in real life?
No kidding. And if you're a believer in the Madden curse, Antonio Brown is on the cover. So if you're a believer in that, you probably won't draft him.
Which I'm not.
You really don't.
I'm not superstitious, y'all.
Right.
I may joke about the jinxes and all that, but I'm really not superstitious.
There have been a few players that bucked the trend, but the majority have not.
Okay, you know what I think it is,
Okay.
You know what I think it is?
What do you think it is?
I'm on the cover of Madden. I've got to prove myself because it's such a prestigious honor to be on the cover of Madden.
Right.
There's only one player in the whole, how many players are in the NFL? Like,
oh gosh, several.
Well,
okay, 53-man roster times 32 teams.
Yeah.
Do the math.
Okay. Let's do some math here, folks.
53-man roster, 32 teams. So that's 1,696 active players.
Okay. Out of
1,696.
Out of 1,696 active players, there's only one player on the cover of Madden, maybe two if you count limited edition, like Hall of Fame edition, because there's different players.
Yes.
But so two. Let's just say two players out of 1,696. So I think they have the attitude of I gotta prove myself because I'm there.
Correct.
I've reached the top. I gotta prove myself. Therefore, they push themselves
too
hard.
Yeah, that's true.
To prove, because they think they have to prove themselves.
That's
they push
true.
themselves too hard, and honestly, I think that's.
I would say
what it is.
I would say since they started putting players on the cover instead of Madden, I would say two players have really bucked the curse: Calvin Johnson, and Tom Brady last year.
Yeah,
I mean that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean Tom Brady is like
Superman.
Aside from the year he tore his ACL, that was that the 1 year that he became human. It's like
From the planet Krypton.
Yeah, right.
I think think Superman's from Krypton.
Yes. Yeah. But aside from that 1 year, Brady has been near
Insane.
perfect. Yeah. Insane. Although lost last year Super Bowl.
Again. Giants.
Well, Giants twice and Eagles last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and again, going back to the Hall of Fame ceremony, the Eagles fans last night, did they come out in full force for Brian Dawkins?
Yeah.
Oh. And the speeches last night were outstanding. Dawkins, Urlacher, and then ending it with Randy Moss and Ray Lewis was just fascinating. She was mad at you while we're staying too late watching the ceremony?
Yeah, because apparently she thought they were like 10-minute speeches.
Oh, no.
Gone.
Oh, no.
I'd be home in a
No.
little bit.
That probably one of the shortest speeches in Hall of Fame history. Or that short. They probably one of the shortest speeches in history. That short.
It's like, oh my gosh. Apparently they have no time limit and they can talk for an hour if they want.
And Ray Lewis did something that was never done before. He even used the podium. He was doing stuff all over the stage.
He was preaching.
He was preaching.
Like, seriously,
yeah.
I thought I was in church. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, and you made the comment last.
I'm not mocking you or nothing.
No,
but,
you made the comment last night. Is this a Christian class? And it really kind of is.
Yeah. Let's see. Brian Dawkins was giving glory to his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
I think Moss did.
Moss did.
And then of course Lewis.
Lewis was using scripture all through. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Like, and then you get Terrell Owens. Taint it.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's all like, I'm protesting the selection. Why am I not a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Okay. Actually, they clarified that. They showed clips from Chattanooga. They showed clips. He said, I'm not protesting Canton. I'm not protesting the Hall of Fame. I'm protesting the sports writers, the journalists whose views don't line up with the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
He was really taking a stab at them.
As in what, like?
Because they were so critical of him over his career.
Yeah.
And they felt he wasn't first ballot, second ballot. So I think he thinks they might have had some influence, some sway toward the Hall.
Oh.
So he wasn't protesting the Hall itself.
Yeah, or the selection
he was taking a
committee.
stand. No, he was taking a stand against the critics, the media. Kind of like what President Trump does every day.
Yeah, okay.
So they clarified that. He wasn't taking a stab at Cam.
Still, anyways, like, okay, whatever, dude. Well, maybe if you weren't such a jerk through your career, maybe they wouldn't have so
I
much
wouldn't
to
say
criticize.
Jerk as much controversial.
He was a jerk.
Okay.
Stomping on the star,
Yeah.
like his little DAC move. Why did Dallas even,
Yeah, no kidding. Why
him?
did Dallas sign you after you did that with San Francisco? Yeah. That was kind of weird.
And they were saying he just desecrated the star. You don't do that. And maybe it was to prove a point. Oh, you say you're America's team. Where you at? But
right.
they built the stadium the way they did. I heard this, and I think you did too.
Yeah.
They built the stadium, this new Cowboys stadium.
Jerry World, pretty much.
Jerry said when they built this new Cowboys stadium,
or AT&T Stadium, I think is what they call it now.
AT&T Stadium. Okay.
Yeah.
When they built the stadium. The reason there is an opening in the roof
is so God can watch his favorite team. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's how much prestige the Cowboys had. And then for some kind of young, kind of old punk, Terrell Owens, for that little punk to do what he did, he wouldn't even be in the Hall if I had a say on it.
I will say though, T.O. was definitely noted for. I mean, yes, his play on the field is outstanding. I mean, okay, I admire him for sense of humor. I mean, he has two of the more notable, funny celebrations in Cowboy history for sure.
Okay.
One, when he donated a football he scored after a touchdown in the Salvation Army. Remember that? When he dropped it in the kettle and said, "That's my donation." He said, "That's my donation. And I hope the fine is worth it," because he got fined for that.
Why?
Because that was when the NFL was cracking down on celebrations, like when they were the no fun league, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they changed that.
Yeah.
You can at least, hey.
Right. And then the second notable one, the popcorn. You remember that when he took the popcorn from the fan and went, in his helmet? You remember that one? That was hilarious.
Yeah,
that was just funny.
But, okay. To be in the Hall of Fame, obviously this class proves it.
Yeah.
To be in the Hall of Fame, you have to have more than good play on the field. You have to have good character.
True.
This class last night proves it.
Oh, absolutely.
Brian Dawkins, Christian, very Christian man. Ray Lewis, again, Christian, very Christian man.
Randy Moss,
Christian dude, good dude. And I'm not.
Is Urlacher?
I don't know if he's religious or Christian, but at least his character is good.
Yeah.
They talk about the love of the game and how good the game was to them. I honestly think T.O. could give a rat's.
Did you notice a trend on the last few speakers that they said? I started with Urlacher and it went on down. It said football was a part of me, but it's not who I am. Yeah.
Football is what I
do. What I did. Yeah.
What I do and what I did, but it
doesn't define me.
And you're talking about trends.
Yeah.
A couple of them. I think it started with Dawkins, then it went to
Moss
and Lewis.
Yeah.
All said, it ain't about me.
Right.
It's about y'all. It's about the players I played with to make me as good as I am. One even said it's 11. It's not 1. It's 11.
It's 11. Yeah.
T.O. never had that mentality.
No.
Ever.
No.
He would call for the ball, wave for the ball, quarterback would miss him, then he'd throw a little baby fit.
Right. Right.
Did he not?
No, he did.
He was throwing baby fits every time he didn't get the ball. Go home and suck on your mama's tit.
That's why him and Chad Ochocinco were a perfect fit in Cincinnati.
No.
Ochocinco was the same way. These receivers that just, that would basically be perfect for Keyshawn Johnson when he wrote that book. Just give me the D-word ball. It's like, be the same. They could be co-writers of that book. If you're wondering, y'all, when the draft starts, this is the pre-show. This is the lead-up. Draft doesn't start till 6:15. If you're wondering.
Which I may or may not be staying for because wife has a headache. And tonight's Relentless is a game night. So it's not like we're missing a worship service or whatever.
Right.
I don't know if there's going to be food there.
Right.
Sarah's getting a headache because we've been sleeping on the couch. I don't know if it's the way we.
And I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I also said this last year. We thought Matt was going to be here, but he has not responded to my texts all day.
What the heck?
I don't know.
He planned to be here.
He always plans to be here.
You made the draft the time you did because
we all agreed that this date was best.
Yeah, what the heck, Matt?
I don't know.
But then again, you know what? I was telling Sarah.
Yeah.
If Matt doesn't show up, I don't think I'll cry.
Right.
Because you know what? It was either I go to church for the small group. The way I thought of it was either I go to church for the small group or I get myself immersed in the foulness.
Right.
Because it gets very much more vulgar.
Well, that's not Matt.
When Matt is here, and you know what? I'm gonna say a message, Matt. If you watch this, okay, sorry. Sorry, but not sorry if I pee you off. You're foul.
Yeah.
And we got church people and I know I just told T.O. to go home and suck on. Without being too vulgar, that's the thought that popped in my head.
Right.
Babies are breastfed. It's a natural part of life. If you're gonna act like a 2-year-old, go to your mama.
Right.
No. Who made the comment? Just signed, I believe, by the Eagles or something. Says I will be whatever my team needs me. First day of training camp. First day of televised training camp.
Okay.
They had it on the screen. I will be whatever my team needs me to be, whenever my team needs it.
And this guy was just signed?
No, well actually, I think he was a vet.
Weren't they talking about Foles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of course Wentz is the starter.
Wentz,
as long as he's healthy. Even though Foles just won them a Super Bowl.
Carson Wentz was the starter last year through the last part of the season.
Well, most of the season. He got hurt like week 14, 15 of the season.
Week 14, 15 of the season was like towards the end of the season.
Correct.
But he wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Foles does.
Okay. Carson Wentz comes back, and what does Foles do? Hey, T.O., take a lesson on this one. What does Foles do? I'm okay with stepping back.
Right.
I will be whatever the team needs, whenever the team needs.
Right.
But I'm not going to develop a Super Bowl winning ego.
No.
And I'm not going to say, oh, I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest. Why are they benching me? I won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Me.
Yeah, no.
First ballot Hall of Famer, Nick Foles, for that character. Character speaks
volumes
so much about you.
Yeah,
not to get morbid, but I just had the image in my head. I will always remember my grandfather, my grandpa Harv, my mom's dad. His casket, he had an open casket funeral.
Okay.
And his casket on the inside of the lid says the words, and it was so like, they grab you. It says, "May the work I've done speak for me."
Nice.
Hello.
Right.
That's huge. That gets you.
Yeah, it does.
Down to the core.
Yeah.
May the work I've done speak for me, aka let my testimony, let my character, let who I am speak for me.
Right.
Dang all the critics.
Right.
Dang all the naysayers. What have I done? See me for who I am.
Yep.
Nick Foles, you are a prime example of that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's not out demanding some huge contract since he won the Super Bowl.
No.
He's not out saying, "Oh, give me the ball.
Right.
Why do you even have me here when you're not going to throw it to me or when you're not going to use me?" Like T.O. did.
Right.
You're not going to even let me play. Nick Foles says, whenever, wherever, however,
right.
I'm here.
Right.
When the team needs me, I'm good.
Exactly.
I'll do whatever. If that means I sit on the bench, he's fine with it.
Right.
If he plays every snap of the season, he's fine with that.
Exactly.
Hello.
Yeah. And I still think the Eagles are going to be the top team in the NFC East. I still think that because there's really not. I mean, there is some change in the East. But there's not like a team that's going to come up and challenge them. I don't think. The Giants are probably going to be second best by default because their talent is young. Aside from Eli Manning, their talent's young. Dallas is going to regress because they just lost Des Bryant and Jason Witten.
Dang.
Yeah.
They're going to suck.
Yeah, Dallas is going to regress. All they have is Dak and Zeke. That's pretty much it. Elliott's still there. And then Washington may be good, but they just swapped Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins went to Minnesota. Now Alex Smith's their quarterback, and that's former Chief.
No,
Kirk Cousins.
What team are you talking
I'm
about?
on Washington.
Okay, Washington.
Yeah. Cousins let Cousins go. They'll let him go to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And now, Minnesota's going to be loaded, dude.
And think of how good Minnesota
was last year with Case Keenum, who's now in Denver.
Again? I think he was in Denver for a minute.
No, because Denver had Osweiler, Simeon. Denver had a mess. Osweiler was briefly a Texan. He was briefly a Texan.
He was Case Keenum's back.
Yeah, he was briefly a Cleveland Brown. He was twice in Denver. I mean, Osweiler was just a mess, though.
Well, but why? Was it off the field issues? Was it just
No? It's just that he wasn't very good. I mean,
Okay.
and really the thing with Denver, and I hope Denver improves under Keenum, but Denver was just they didn't have much in the way of offensive talent. Like their defense is great, but
Cousins has always been decent?
Cousins is I think Cousins is going to do really well in Minnesota because he has talent there around him. You know, Stephon Diggs,
Yes.
Adam Thielen,
Yes.
Kyle Rudolph at tight end,
Yes.
Dalvin Cook back in the backfield.
Yes.
I mean,
I've heard of all of those.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm folks, if you've watched, usually he's the one that does the talking, and sometimes I'll hit on points
Right.
that I know. I know all those names. They are going to be loaded.
Yeah, Minnesota is going to be and I think Minnesota and Green Bay are going to fight it out in the NFC North. I think those are going to be your top two.
And speaking of being loaded,
Yeah.
I just got the image and the sound of
Sure.
someone. I don't advocate gun violence or gun killing, of course. But when you said they're gonna be loaded,
Yeah.
and you started mentioning all those names,
Yeah.
I just think of like a soldier or a hunter with a pump shotgun going.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, load that shotgun.
Yeah. Say the name. Boom. It's like
No, load that
Yeah.
freaking shotgun.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Give her the, like,
Yes, of
pump-action
course.
shotgun
Yes,
in
of
the
course.
TV,
Yeah, of course.
The
Yeah,
pump
I get
action
it.
is always
Yeah.
pronounced where you hear the
Right. But yeah, the NFC North is going to be fun. The NFC South is going to be a fun division too. Well, yeah, you think Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans. I mean, all three, how good those teams are. That's going to be
you were just
fun.
dumping on Breeze saying, how long does he
Well,
have?
because here's the thing. New Orleans has good, again,
No.
you have good players around the quarterback. You got probably the two best running backs in football in Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. You got Michael Thomas, a wide receiver. I mean,
Which?
Yes.
Who would you say in the Saints running back?
Well,
Kamara
and Ingram.
Well, Ingram, I think, didn't he suspended?
Ingram is suspended for the first 4 games, but he'll be, once he comes back from that, he'll be good down the line. He'll be back into his regular role.
But Kamara is just as damn
I know
good.
that, but they're both good. That's the thing.
So let's get it.
Yeah, either way, if we get either one, I'll be thrilled. I'll honestly be thrilled. BA is best available. Strategy. Okay, speaking that you bring this up, let's talk some strategy. Our draft position before.
Maybe.
So here, this strategy I found. We were talking strategy a couple days ago, and we were talking how in the past we have done something called stacking, which now you came up with it, and now you hate it because it's been so bad.
Well, because you get so many good players, but what if those players that you have don't produce? You're screwed for the whole week.
For the whole week, right? So it's kind of come back to bit us in the butt. Yeah.
Bit us.
Kind of come back to
bit us in the butt.
Bit us in the butt.
Jerome bit us.
Jerome bit us in the butt. That's pretty good.
Sorry, bus.
Yeah, but that was there. So actually, I found
There's
this.
your blooper. There's your first blooper of the movie. I'm sure
I'm sure there'll be more. Yeah. I found this strategy actually on NFL.com's website. They don't tell the whole story because you don't know, because that's a mock. You don't know how the real life thing is going to go. But from what I've seen is this: running backs are going to come off the board quickly. They're going to be pretty much the early rounds and the wideouts. You want, and I mentioned this also in our group, and so I'll mention it here. The playoff teams from last year had at least 2 elite running backs and 2 elite wide receivers for sure. Maybe in some cases even 3. So you want to establish that right away. So my feeling is with our first couple picks, I think we're going to go, back, wide receiver, or vice versa, whatever is available.
Don't draft Dan Bailey.
Oh, the kicker, yeah. And then from there, it's just a matter of best available players on the board. And what we need at our best positions that are left. And then after that happens, then we address like kicker and defense last, because that
usually you can. We've had, even when we wait on kicker, we've had some.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Freaking
Tucker multiple years. Who else we had in the past? We had Janikowski from Oakland one year. Who else do we have? We've had the Saints kicker Will Lutz. We've had.
I'm probably thinking Tucker.
Okay. We've had Bryant from Atlanta.
Wasn't he Ravens?
Yes, City's still Ravens, still same team.
Huh.
So we've had.
Been a Raven?
Yes,
When was he
yes.
drafted?
I believe Tucker's always been.
Ravens?
I believe Tuck's always been a Raven. I'm pretty sure he has
Get him
been.
again.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm not kidding. Get him again.
Oh,
He has always been.
He's
good
always
for
been
us.
good for us. Yes. We've had Prater from the Lions too.
Yes.
And he's been good.
Matt Prater?
Yep. Let's see, Justin Tucker. Because I haven't imagined many other teams than Baltimore. Yep, 2012 to present. Yep, he's been a Raven all his career. And his career, look at it, career statistics: 202 for 224. That's 90% accuracy. 90%.
Yeah.
It almost makes you drop your phone. I mean,
Right.
yeah, isn't that crazy? Longest field goal, 61 yards. And 321 touchbacks. Woo!
Hello.
Yeah,
I wish we got points for touchbacks.
no kidding. So, yeah, he has been amazing. And another thing you can wait on that I have seen, you can actually wait on quarterback at least a little bit. You don't have to take one right away. Now, I know there are probably going to be some in our draft that are going to go, oh, Aaron Rodgers, oh, Tom Brady, right away, early. Well, they're hurting their depth at other positions by doing that. You know, and really they don't do the majority of the scoring. They really don't. Your backs and your receivers do the majority of that. Remember?
Like, because sometimes I'm thinking, oh, get an elite quarterback. But then again, like a week ago when we were talking strategy, I said, get the elite wide receivers.
Yes.
Because, yeah, it's cool to have maybe one quarterback wide receiver stack.
Right.
If you can get a quarterback and his favorite target, score both ways.
Right.
But yet and he reminded me because he knows the point structure a little better than I do. But he says
Running backs and wide receivers
score every 10
yards, 1 point. Quarterbacks
are only one every
25.
25.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's still, I'd say it's still good to have a quarterback wide receiver threat, but not too many.
Correct. Yeah. So that's the big thing. So, and when let's see, when I drafted Mock at the 6th pick, I got an A- grade, 92 out of 100. So
Right.
yeah.
Do you know who you drafted?
Yes, I can actually pull that up real quick because I have the whole sheet right there. So
6th pick.
with the 6th pick here, I'll highlight it. There we go. I got Phillip Rivers from the Chargers, and then I got Patrick Mahomes, the rookie out of Kansas City, to be the backup. I got Kamara at 6.
Uh-huh.
I got Darius Geis, the rookie from Washington.
Yes.
Lamar Miller from Houston, and Rex Burkhead from New England, who he had briefly last year, who was amazing.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, A.J. Green,
Nice.
Doug Baldwin, the Seahawks top target, Marvin Jones from Detroit,
Yeah.
Rashard Matthews, Tennessee, and Josh Doxson from Washington, the former TCU Horned Frog.
And you only got an A- grade for all those big names?
I'm surprised at that, honestly. Tight end, Delaney Walker, Tennessee. Kicker, Lutz from the Saints. Texans defense.
You only got
An A- for that. I would have thought it'd be a lot higher.
That's insane.
I know, right? If we get that, like something like that tonight, I'll be thrilled.
Right.
Yeah.
I will be too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. So
Bullshit.
I know, right? I look at that. So the draft, like that, when I pick there, the draft gets done. It pops up A-. I'm thinking, really?
You got your dang mind.
I thought it'd be like an A, like 96 or something, higher than that.
A or A plus.
A, exactly. I would have been thrilled with that. So
maybe it's because you got some not so heavy names, but still good players.
yes.
Maybe the name value's not there, but they're still good. Heck, I don't know.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I say this every year, but it's always true. I want guys that I know are going to produce on a weekly basis, week by week. Consistency. Yes. Consistency is the name of the game. And if there was a fantasy football song, it should be called Consistency because That's what you want to have. You want to have guys that are good. You know, we're going to put out the points on a weekly basis, and that's really what I want. And we got to get those guys, because the last 3 years have shown that it hasn't panned out.
And maybe, I was just thinking, maybe if we want to do like 2 quarterback and wide receiver combos, but put them in different bye weeks. Like get like different bye weeks. That way we don't have to. Because another problem I did not foresee with stacking that we have run into that's bit us in the butt
is the bye weeks.
And if you have a stack, like if you have 3 or 4 players on one team,
then you have to scramble.
Have the same bye week, and you're going to scramble.
You're going to have to bench a lot of guys in 1 week, and then you have to scramble to find replacements.
Then off their bye week, then you got to drop your replacements to get your good ones back.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to drop your good ones because your roster doesn't,
there just isn't enough room. There isn't enough room. That's the problem. With 14 guys on your roster, you start 9. That's, again, going back to the calculator, back to the math. You realize that in a CBS league, you start 64% of your roster. So, so only 5 guys are on your bench. So it's really it's hard. It's hard to keep your bench strong because you have to start so much.
Yeah.
That's always the challenge.
And a stack even adds to that because you got to replace more players. So, if we, for instance, give me a wide receiver for the Saints.
Okay, Michael Thomas.
Okay, we can do a Breeze Thomas combo, and then we can do Andrew Luck
and T.Y. Hilton
if they're on different bye weeks.
Right.
AKA when we have to sit one combo, you got a good combo, still have a stack.
You got the other in your pocket, kind of.
Yeah.
Because
you're probably gonna want, a couple quarterbacks. You start one.
You start one, and you if you carry 2 on the roster, you start one, you bench the other.
Yeah.
So, which I think is a good idea.
1 quarterback, 3 wide receivers.
You start 3 wideouts. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe do like Breeze and Thomas, and then for a stack, and then Luck and Hilton. I'm not saying that's who you should be, but that's an example.
Right. Sure. There's a ton of examples.
You still maintain the stack. Different bye weeks.
One we've had in the past, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. You remember when we had them?
Yeah, but then Julio got hurt.
Yeah.
Ryan got hurt or something.
And another thing, and this is something else you have to factor in when it comes to fantasy. Teams that play indoors, how do they fare when they go outdoors? That's been a bugaboo with Atlanta, with the Saints, and that's kind of a meh. So
I honestly think, even though Walter on Jeff Dunham says build a freaking roof, honestly, I think every team should play outside because you look at the NFL teams of the 50s and 60s and 70s.
They played in fog. They played in the ice bowls. They played in
that and these were hard-nosed, tough, kick your
blank
players.
Yeah.
Hello, purple people eaters, the Vikings of the
Steel Curtain,
the Bears,
Monsters of the Midway.
Hello, these weren't these. And no offense to the NFL players now, but these weren't these mamby-pamby wussies.
Right.
That they're climate controlled.
Right, exactly.
These were the hard-nosed, kick your butt, strong, rough and tough, players.
Yeah.
It builds toughness.
Yes.
Now it's unfortunately, for a lot of players, T.O., I'm talking about you in here.
Oh, boy, again.
It's less of we love to play the game, and it's more contracts, endorsements. Oh, yeah, money.
It's the Manziel syndrome.
Oh, and by the way.
Oh, speaking of him, let's talk Johnny. Let's talk about him for a little bit. Oh, well, it could not have been a worse CFL debut for you, Johnny.
Gets picked off in the Hamilton Alouettes game, and then your opponent is
doing this. He lost it.
Peed my pants. I laughed so hard. I'm not gonna hide.
No.
I'm not gonna hide it.
No.
I peed myself. I was almost rolling on the floor. 11.
Count them 1, 2, 3, 4 interceptions, Johnny. 4 picks.
And what, like 3 in the first
half? And already you're down 28-3. You go on to lose 50-11.
How long are you gonna stay, Mr. 1-6?
Yeah, right. Terrible.
But then again, you can't blame that all on Manziel.
No.
They were what, 1-5.
1-5 going in, yeah.
So.
And one interception was not his fault.
Yeah.
The one that went off Sutton's hands. Yeah.
Throws it to a guy, he fingertips it up in the air right into the opposing player's hand.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault.
Sutton, wasn't he in the NFL?
I remember when he played at Northwestern.
Okay.
I remember him from Northwestern.
Yep,
Of course, because I follow Big Ten, but we're Big Ten country,
And then now, as of last year, there's the All-American Flag Football League or something?
Yeah. The AAFL. Yeah.
All-American Flag.
And the team of amateurs beat the team of former pros in the final.
Well, in the team of pros defense, they play the NFL style football.
True.
These amateurs are actually amateurs are actually professional flag football players.
And they're very good.
Okay?
Yeah, they're very good.
They only were called amateurs because they were against a team of NFL players.
Right.
But fighting cancer, big ups to you.
Yes.
If you ever get a chance to watch them, do it.
Yes.
They're good.
They're really good.
But these were ex-pro NFL players against pro flag football players.
Right.
The rules between the two are a lot different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
Now, a person like me, a person like Matt, we could probably do something in the flag football.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because we have played like Special Olympics flag football.
Mm-hmm.
And about half to 3/4 of the AAFL are like same for Special Olympics rules.
Right.
About half of them. What is it? No, the AFFL.
Oh, the AFFL, the American Flag Football League.
Yes.
That's it. Not All-American. That's it.
Yes.
You're right. Yep, that's it.
Why do I have League of Their Own? That was the All-American Girls
Baseball League. Yeah, mix that up.
The AFFL rules, about half are same in Special Olympics.
Speaking of rules, I also feel like we need to maybe talk about this a bit. The new helmet rule.
I thought you were going nationally.
Oh no!
No,
I wasn't gonna go that far.
New helmet rule. Fill me in.
Okay, sure. Okay, so, and it was a big topic of debate from the Hall of Fame game. So the new rule is basically similar.
Targeting.
It's basically that now.
Okay.
They basically now made it to the college rules. So if the officials deem that a helmet-to-helmet hit is targeting, a player can be ejected and or fined. So it's no longer just a 15-yard penalty.
Helmet to what? Are they only going to do helmet to helmet or helmet to any part of the body?
That's where the gray area kind of draws.
My question is this. What if you're being tackled and on your way down, you accidentally hit a player's knee with your helmet.
And that's the thing.
That's not on purpose. That's
and the NFL players,
targeting.
the players even said, we're so confused. Like, what is legal, what isn't? I think I read an article where the Eagles team players watched a video on now what is legal and what is not. And they watched it afterwards and were going, huh?
Now, if you're coming straight at a guy without being tackled, and you spear
with the crown
guy,
of the head,
if you spear the guy with your helmet, you ought to be fined, ejected, and suspended. I say.
Yeah.
I have always been tougher than the little pussy we got running the NFL now, Roger Goodell. Pansy. I so want to cuss right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
I
should probably open up the room.
Goodell's a pussy.
Yeah.
He capitulates to everybody. No.
Kind of does.
You know, I said I didn't really want to talk much about the national anthem, but here's the deal. I liked what they were proposing. You want to protest? Stay the hell off the field.
Right.
Stay in the locker room until the national anthem is over. Don't disrespect. I liked that. But of course, little pansy Roger Goodell says, oh, well, no, a lot of players aren't liking it, so we're not going to do it. I could give a dang less.
Right.
You know, how many players did we?
1,696.
1,696 players. You know what? Double that. Players that actually once drastic, and I use that situation because that's like the most drastic, but this is only to prove that I'm sure that anyone, that a few of them would do anything to play in the NFL. We know one. Matt would probably dang near kill himself if it meant he got to suit up for any NFL team.
By the way, he hasn't told me how his experience went with the Sycamores either.
No.
Yeah, he didn't tell me how that went either.
But my point is, out of the 1,696 players you got, every single one of you moffs is replaceable and can be replaced.
Right.
Honestly, and I have said this too, if I'm a GM on any team, one of those questions in the interview, whether it's a prospective draft pick or whether it's a prospective free agent I'm bringing in, I ask, what's your view on the national anthem?
Yeah.
If they say, oh, I protest, I kneel, bye.
Right.
You know, and you cannot call that a race thing because I'll turn down a white guy just as soon as I'll turn down a black guy. I'll turn down a Haitian guy. I'll turn down a Mexican guy. It ain't a race thing. It's a respect thing.
Right.
It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's a respect thing.
Exactly.
I want players, if I'm a GM, I want players on my team that are going to respect the country, respect the veterans, and respect our national anthem the way it was meant to be.
Right.
You talk about even the players in the 60s when it was all this Vietnam protest and turmoil. You know what? Those men still stood. They protested outside of the NFL. And if they wanted to protest, you know what? They didn't play, and it was by their choice.
Right.
Now all this, oh, we protest and we want to be seen, all this crap. Thank you, Colin Kaepernick, for that.
He's suing the NFL.
So they don't have to sign you. Why are you like? Why are they? Why
he
is
thinks
he
the owners.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But why is he trying to force anyone to sign him? That's their prerogative.
Because he thinks he's being the B word, blackballed.
Well, you're not. You know, if they don't want to sign you, they don't want to sign you.
Right.
As I said for T.O., go suck on your mama's tit. You know?
Right.
Because you're being a little mamby-pamby baby. You know? And I'm sorry if, there's people from our churches that that do watch this. I'm sorry if you think that's being disrespectful, but it's just a fact of life. Little babies are breastfed. If you're going to be a little baby like that, well, I'm not trying to be vulgar.
No, and I understand that, but
it's like,
it's
be
still
a man, dude.
Sure, but it's still surprising to me though that he doesn't have a job. Like it's still like
not to me. No.
I mean, the guy did almost win a Super Bowl.
If it wasn't Colin Kaepernick, it would have been somebody else.
I know.
Maybe it would have been somebody else, but still, it was him.
True. Yeah, he did start it.
Without Colin Kaepernick, maybe it wouldn't be this bad.
True.
Why do you think the NFL is losing tickets, losing ratings, losing sponsorships? It's because you're protesting. People don't want to see that.
Right.
Veterans in the crowd don't want to see that. Okay, you know what? Y'all can protest. Go ahead. I'll allow any veteran that's here in this stadium to come and beat the holy crap out of you. How about that? That'll curb them real quick. Sorry to go on this tangent,
right.
But we were talking about the national anthem and the disrespect in the NFL. I hate this country, these veterans that put their life on the line being disrespected when they get home.
Right.
That I despise that.
Right.
I hate that.
Right.
I know as Christians we're not supposed to hate,
no.
But you know what? I believe that is a righteous anger.
It is. I agree.
They deserve to be respected.
I agree.
This nation as a whole deserves to be respected. I may not agree with the government all the time. I may not agree with the leadership of this nation most of the time, but it's not. Okay, you're kneeling. Does that mean every time the national anthem is played, I can flip them off? Oh, that's my form of protesting.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, you're right. So, so now it's so now it's like now they're.
Sorry to go off on.
No, you're fine. I know that gets you, but so now at the moment there is no policy because the NFL and the NFLPA have agreed. Okay, until we get something fully straightened out, there won't be a policy. So
and they won't get something straightened out probably on purpose, just so that issue's never brought up again.
Right.
Or are they even trying?
I don't think they want it to be a distraction anymore. Honestly, I don't think they want it to.
Well, then let the rule stand the way it was.
Right.
Oh, if you want to protest.
In the locker room.
In the locker room.
That was the policy before they froze
and I liked that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I like that.
Yeah, it was either you come out and stand or you go in the locker room.
You don't have to be seen doing protest.
But it got crazy then when the Dolphins came out and said, oh, we're going to start fining players who don't stand. That's when the Player Association said, whoa, hold up.
Okay, now, I don't think that's right. I mean, if you want to stay in the locker room, but here's the thing. But they said if you don't stay in the locker room and you still kneel,
that's when you get fined.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I liked that idea because you know what? You might have more of an effect by not being seen,
right, than by being seen.
By being seen kneeling.
Yeah, I concur.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So stay in the locker room.
Right.
You'll have more of a psychological effect not being there.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens this year. Yeah, but it is a hot topic, that's for sure.
Edom joins Inside Training Camp Live for the Broncos.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. I'm real interested to see how he does with Denver. I mean, considering how good he was in Minnesota, I'm intrigued to see how well he does with Denver. Although Denver doesn't have as many weapons as Minnesota did, but I'm interested to see how he does there. Because Denver needs a quarterback. Denver.
I think he was Texas before he was in Minnesota. Right?
Was he?
Texans.
Was he a Texan? No. I never remember Keenan being a Texan. No. I don't think he was.
He wasn't drafted by Minnesota.
I know he wasn't, but I never remember him being a Texan. At least I don't think
who
so.
Who was he with before Minnesota?
That's what I'm looking up.
My point is he's been good wherever he's been.
Oh, he was a Texan.
That's what I thought.
I never remembered him as a Texan.
He was drafted by the Texans.
Okay, 2012 and 13. You're right again. Yeah. You're right.
He was good as a Texan, good as a Viking, and
then he had a brief career with the Rams too. So before he went to Minnesota. Okay. Well, I hope
Texans, Rams, Minnesota,
and then now Denver. Yeah. Well, I hope he succeeds. I knew
he was a Texan.
I just never remember him playing as a Texan. I never remember watching him in Houston. Maybe did they ever start?
He did for a few.
Did he? Who was he behind? Schaub.
Yes.
He was behind Schaub, wasn't he?
Yes.
That's why. Yep, that's why.
Schaub was not
because Schaub was on Indiana Bulls. He was our quarterback.
Yes.
That's why I remember. Yep, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yep. That's
Keenum
right.
never
really saw the field because of Schaub. That's right.
Yeah, even though Schaub's
not in our fantasy league, he didn't.
Schaub, you suck.
Rare times he did suck. He didn't suck very often though. Not fun, but no. Well, we are about less than 7 minutes away. Minutes are ticking down. We have the draft room open. Let's see. There's already one guy actually on autopilot, so one of them will not be here for sure. This guy. Yeah, this guy. Whoever O is. We're the only team with a logo right now. Isn't that funny? Oh, Oxo. Okay, he's autopilot. Okay.
Okay, but the S, the J, the T,
they're all going to be here live.
They're in the room.
Well, maybe not in the room, but right now they're not set to autopilot. So,
what about that blue star?
The star at the end is actually that's the guy that has the hashtag. By the way, some of our league names this year, we're the NightHawks, by the way, but some of our team names this year are really silly. There's a guy in our league called hashtag I hope to win more than the Browns. Seriously. Then another guy, hey, 1-31 ain't that bad. Also a Browns fan, I assume, because that's the Browns record the last 2 years. Yeah, exactly. We have one guy called Silly Smeagol Super Bowl Run. Oxo Moxo. So that's just the weird ones. I mean, the other ones are pretty basic. We have the Steelers in this league. We have the Finns. We have Buff Bills. We have Jim's Jets. We have some normal, and then we have some off the wall weird in this league.
What are you on? Give me some.
Right. I hope to win more than the Browns. Well, if you win one game, you win more than what they did last year, which was 0.
Yeah.
I think the Browns are going to do better. I mean, it's like with Indiana State football, 0-11 last year, got nowhere to go but up. I mean, there's really nowhere to go besides that.
In their defense, they were all young.
Yeah, that's true.
Still, if you're scholarship to any college, you ought to know how to play.
Right. So if the draft goes according to form, if it goes based on the CBS rankings, the first 7 picks are going to be running backs. If it goes to form, if the first 5 aren't live drafters, if it's auto draft, then the first 5 will be running backs. And then if that's the case, then we end up with Kareem Hunt from Kansas City, who would not be a bad option either. So I'd be thrilled to get Hunt at number 6 too. But it all depends how it shakes out. So we're about 4 minutes out.
You start the draft without me.
Okay.
I think you know. I'm going to check my work.
Absolutely. Yeah, you do what you got to do.
Because I may or may not be here.
Right. Right.
We got a small group. It meets every other Sunday, and this just happens to be the Sunday we're meeting. So I don't know. So I'm gonna go check on her, go see the status.
Yes, you do that.
So
Yep. There you go. Perfect.
And I'll let you know.
All right.
She was drinking some caffeine because maybe that's a caffeine.
Caffeine can help headaches. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's not been drinking much soda. I'm proud of her.
Yeah.
Wife wants to get healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Most of you knew I got married recently. But
they probably don't know you moved in next door.
Oh yes. Oh
yeah.
I wanted to hit on that.
Yes.
I actually wanted to hit on that. You'll be seeing probably a lot more of this mug.
Yes. Yeah.
For shows because
right next door. Yep. Made it happen. Made it work.
Finally.
What
took you so damn long?
Logistics. Had to open up.
It's elementary, my dear Watson.
Yeah, right. It is.
Yeah,
it
but
is.
It's still, yeah. So.
All right. You do what you got to do. I will handle this.
Yep.
I got this. If he's still there, I will get Kamara. Yes. Yep. But if not, I wouldn't mind having Hunt. Surprising. I know, right?
Names are so similar. The same last name, and names are so similar. Or as my wife says,
oh, that's good. I like that.
She does it.
All right. I know. All right. 1 minute. Here we go. See how this shakes out. Backs are going to go real quick, but that's okay. You're going to go real quick, but that's okay. You're going with those point producers. I've wanted to use, by the way, the NightHawk name for years. I wanted to use that name for so many years, and I always found something better. And this year, unanimous. So it's so awesome. We've done well with Night in our name. We won the title 4 years ago with the Night Crawlers. So we've had success with that. So hopefully that. It's got to be fast. And then after the draft completes, what I'll do is I'll just share my thoughts on it, my team overall thoughts, and then after that it'll probably be just surprises, trends, just quick recaps of in general. So, this is the nervous part. It looks like this guy isn't even in the room. I think a lot of people aren't in the room, honestly. Maybe this will all be auto except for me. It'll be interesting, that's for sure. Oh, one guy got off autopilot. Okay. So this will probably be, well, it might not go based on the default projection because if some have their own ranking list, then they might take a different guy. So I got to keep that in mind too. All right, this first guy's taking all the time. He might probably end up being on autopilot. But it will probably be Todd Gurley. It'll be Gurley or Le'Veon Bell. I have a feeling it'll be the first pick. It'll be Gurley or Bell. Yep, Le'Veon Bell. All right. Bell goes first. Okay, then goes Gurley. All right, so no surprise those two come off first. Then Zeke Elliott. Wow, I'm surprised Kamara did not go third. Okay. All right, so then Kareem Hunt. Wow, Hunt went fourth. Wow. I'm surprised there. All right, that's a bit of a surprise that Hunt went fourth. Okay. So he won't go to me at 6. All right. So there's still a chance if Kamara isn't drafted here at 5, then I can snatch him up here at pick number 6. And that would be awesome if I can do that. Yeah, I knew this was going to be running backs early. I knew it. I just had a feeling. And if I don't get Kamara here at 6, David Johnson's still out there, and he's a good possibility, or Saquon Barkley. who's going to come in right away and start for the Giants. So either one would be a nice pick here at number 6. This guy's taking up all the time too. All right. If it goes autopilot, it'll probably be Kamara though. Yeah, it's Kamara. All right, so David Johnson, Saquon Barkley, both have a bye week of week 9. I would be thrilled either way, but I worry about Johnson though because of the fact that he's coming off a big injury. I worry about that. Barkley, I think, is going to be a sure thing with the Giants. He's going to come in and start right away. You know me, even though he's a rookie, I think he's coming into a great situation. I'm going to pull the trigger here, and I'm going to take Saquon Barkley here at number 6. I am overjoyed with that pick. His bye week is week 9. Yeah. I'm very happy with that first pick. I mean, he walked into a perfect situation. The Giants have not had a great running back in years, and he was drafted number 2 overall to be the guy for the Giants. So I am really hoping for big things from Saquon Barkley. I really hope he pans out. I hope I don't regret taking him over Johnson because again, I'm lukewarm on guys that are coming off a major injury, and Johnson missed a lot of the year last year, so I worry about those kind of guys. So I hope I don't regret that move, but I think in the end it's going to pay off because he's going to be the guy right away. So I think this is one of those kind of like a Zeke Elliott that'll come in right away and be the workhorse. I think that's what's going to happen with Saquon Barkley. So I got a good feeling about this one. So now it's going to be a while till it comes back to me because I'm right in the middle of the draft. Who's going to go number 7? Probably Johnson. Yep, there goes David Johnson. Okay. So second round, I probably either want to go. I'll probably go wide out here. Depending on what value is there, I want to go. I want to go get a quality wide out or get another back. But it just depends on what value is there. It depends on what players are left. Yeah, I'm not up for an 11 picks. So this is the thing about being in the middle of the draft. You got to wait a while before you come back around. So. Like if you're at the back of the draft, you pick back to back. If you're at the top of the draft, you pick first, and you have to wait a long time. If you're right in the middle, then you know it's a waiting game either way. But you gotta. Okay, so 2 are already. The guys now in front of me and behind me are behind me picking. Front of me and behind me are both now on autopilot. So hopefully those picks will go faster when they come to me. Oh boy. I don't think I'm gonna regret that choice. I really don't. I think, unless something happens, unless injury, which you can't control, I really like the Barkley pick. I really do. I'm not gonna really worry about it. All right, there goes Antonio Brown, number 8. So there's the first wideout off the board. And that's autopilot now. I think a lot of these guys are going to go autopilot. Oh, no, there goes Melvin Gordon. Okay. Can you believe that we're 5 Sundays out till the regular season starts, or at least football-wise, 5 Sundays out? This is probably the latest I've ever drafted. Like, honestly, this is the late because normally we did these early, but this is the latest I've ever drafted. Like 5 weeks of the regular season. It's pretty crazy. Let's see, who's at the top of the board now? Leonard Fournette, Jarrett McKinnon, Devonta Freeman, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey. Hopkins is out there, Julio Jones, Sean McCoy, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams. So there's a lot of good players still left on the board. So depending on the value that's out there, I don't want to pass on number 1 wide receiver though. I'll probably go wide out here in round 2. I don't want to miss on a top flight wide out either. Even though I know the backs are going to come off fast, I can't miss on a top flight wide receiver, depending on the value that's there. So this will probably be Fournette. This auto pick's going to go. It'll probably be Fournette. Yep, there goes Leonard Fournette. There. Oh, Julio Jones. Wow, that's a reach. Okay. Titans for Life went Julio Jones first round. That's, wow, going wide out first. That's bold. That's really bold. Then there goes Devonta Freeman. So 2 wideouts go in the first round, Antonio Brown and Julio Jones. That's interesting. I mean, Brown's not a shocker, but okay, it's coming back around now. Now there goes McCaffrey. There's Jarrett McKinnon. Okay, I'm up here in 3 picks. If DeAndre Hopkins is still there, oh my gosh. If I were to get Hop, oh, that would be something else. If I were to get DeAndre Hopkins here with this 2nd round pick, that would be massive. Because with Watson back healthy, Hopkins is going to be just amazing. But I expect him to be off the board. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yep, there goes Cook, Hopkins, and LaShawn McCoy. All right. Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams, T.Y. Hilton. There's Michael Thomas, A.J. Okay. Okay. Allen's back healthy. Adams, Hilton, Thomas.
Who's clocked?
We are. Got good wide receivers.
Kamara been off?
Kamara already went off before us. I got Barkley from the Giants.
Okay.
Allen, Adams, Hilton's out there, wide receiver. Thomas is out there, or Green.
Okay.
Who would you be safer with?
Didn't we say we wanted Thomas?
I like Thomas.
Okay. 2nd pick?
Yep.
Oh,
I
was hoping to
6.
make it before the 1st, but apparently.
No. All right. Thomas?
Yeah.
All right.
Apparently the other 5 went quick, huh?
It's going by pretty quick.
Wow. Oh, did they shorten the times?
Minute 30.
They shortened the times.
Minute 30 now like per pick. 4. Yeah.
I was thinking it was going to be like, because like last year it was like 6 minutes the first round or something.
It was like 3, wasn't it?
3.
Yeah, they really shortened it. Yeah, they're making it a lot quicker.
I didn't know, so this might go.
It might go pretty lightning quick. Yeah.
So Barkley.
Yep.
From
Giants.
Wide receiver.
Running back. Yeah.
Do good.
Dude, he walked into a perfect situation. The Giants drafted a number 2 overall to be their starting running back. And you know how he was at Penn State. He was insane. So I think he'll do good. Now, 3rd pick, depending on what's left on the board, I'd still say the running back or wide out, depending on the value that's on the board.
Thomas is a
wide receiver. So we've got our running back 1 and our wide receiver 1. So now we need to think about our 2 at one of those positions. Because Hopkins came off the board. Sean McCoy came off the board. That's surprising. Allen's off the board. Beckham is off the board. A.J. Green. Devontae Adams. So a lot of wideouts now are going in these recent rounds. So round 1 was a lot of running backs. Round 2 is a lot of wideouts.
You have that. You are now on the clock turned off.
It's not very loud. It's yeah.
because you are on deck. You are now on the clock. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of low. I know.
Yeah. But yeah. It's okay. Is that yellow autopilot?
The yellow are autopilots. Yeah, there's a lot of autopilots.
4 of the 12 on autos.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. All right. So Howard went. T.Y. Hilton went. The running backs Coleman, Ajayi, Kenyon Drake, Lamar Miller, Joe Mixon. Let's see what's at wideout. Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper, Tyreek Hill, Doug Baldwin, Mike Evans. I would love to have Diggs. We just mentioned how good Minnesota was going to be this year.
Yeah.
I'd love to have Stephon Diggs.
Wasn't Evans good for us in the past? Is he still on the board?
He's still on the board, but here's the problem with Tampa Bay. Winston suspended the first 4 games of the season, or 3.
Huh?
Winston suspended the first 3 games of the season.
Winston.
Their quarterback.
Okay. Diggs.
I would love to get Diggs. I think the wide receiver value here is better than the back value. So
Okay.
I'll take. Let's get Diggs here. Let's get Diggs here. By week 10. Okay. I love that pick. And more wide receivers going off. Thomas, Amari Cooper, or the other Thomas, Demarius Thomas from
That
Denver.
mic is picking up your TV.
You're wanted. Oh, that's your pill reminder. Okay.
Now being in training camp over a week, getting to see what it's like to be in that backfield with Christian McCaffrey. Can you envision how well you guys can complement each other? Yeah, it'll be fun. Myself and C-Man, we both know we're going to play. We both have strengths. We're going to do a great job utilizing those strengths to the best of our ability. Being down here, we're going to tackle something that I've seen.
Round 3 is toward the back end. That's why we're up in 8 picks. It's toward the back end, so he's taking his sweet little time.
Yeah. The whole line isn't because he had shrunk.
Well, yeah, because we can see both windows.
Yeah. Which.
Yeah, we've done that in the past too.
Yeah. Dude, seriously.
Pick your guy.
He'll be on autopilot.
Yeah, he will.
Pick real quick.
Yeah, right.
They put him on autopilot.
And they don't pick. Yeah.
Right?
There goes Jay Ajayi.
I don't know if he's in or if he's. Nope. We got so. I must have been in a bathroom break or something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had like 4 or 5 on them.
Start to see a lot of running backs at the top of the board now. And we need a second running back.
Okay.
Mike Evans.
He's a wideout.
He's a wideout. Yeah, Evans is a wideout. The only problem with Evans, though, again, yeah, Winston's been in the first 2 games, and when he doesn't score touchdowns, he sucks. The Bucs quarterback, Jameis. But he suspended the first 3 games because he allegedly groped an Uber driver.
He's suspended for 3 games for
personal conduct policy.
Allegedly?
Yeah.
Not even proven? I hope he...
Okay, there you go. Okay, we're on the clock.
Okay.
So there goes Hill, Derrick Henry, Amar Miller, double. Okay, Mixon, Geis, Alex Collins, Ingram. Pick. Yes.
We want another.
Yes. Yeah, we need our second runner here. Let's go to backs.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon, Darius Geis, the rookie from Washington. Alex Collins would be a good one. He wouldn't be too bad.
You said Geis was going to be good, though.
You want to? Yeah, do we want to start 2 rookies? It's kind of a risk. I would go either Mixon or Collins.
Mixon is
Cincinnati.
Okay, Collins is
Baltimore. I would go Collins.
Cincinnati's never been so good. They haven't been sucky.
All right. I like that pick.
5 week.
10.
Okay. Oh shoot. We got 2 10s.
Well, one's a wide receiver, one's a back.
Yeah. Still, we want to avoid all of our players having the same 5.
True.
Oof.
There goes Landry. There goes Thielen. So a couple more wideouts coming off the board.
Our league is watching our stream. Because we created the league, didn't we?
Yes, we did. So at this point, it's really best available out there in terms of value for depth. Like it's really
5 and 6.
Yeah, it's really at this point it's best available guys. Match him up. If
Saints.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about him. Yes, he's suspended for the first 4 games of the season, but when he comes back, he'll be right back to being that stud value.
Will he start?
Oh yeah.
First 4?
Oh yeah. He'll have a role. Like Kamara won't take over the whole backfield. Kamara's more of a third down.
You don't think he will, but if Kamara explodes, it'd be stupid.
True, but the Saints used them both though. They used them both last year, so I think the Saints would be foolish not to.
Lord, taking your sweet.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
Why is this
Silly
so hard?
Smeagol. Smeagles.
Why is it so hard?
There's Larry Fitzgerald. Okay, Sammy Watkins.
That was quick.
Yeah. A couple wideouts there.
Okay. What do we need?
Jaguars defense. You're a moron. Goobies. Picking a defense in round 5. Moron.
Watch him kick our butt, though.
All right. Marvin Jones, Mr. Okay, so Ingram, he's still there.
Get him.
All right.
We'll have to start another one.
He's suspended to week 5, but we know that. But our rookies will start in the meantime. Bam. Oh, what a pick.
Week
6.
Shoot, we got another 6. Thomas is 6 too.
But we have 2 Saints, that's why.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. We got a stack there.
Yeah.
Well, Thomas for all 6.
Yeah.
He doesn't get hurt.
Yeah. And then we'll have Ingram after starting week 5. You'll have Ingram starting week 5.
1 before the bye.
Yep.
Six is best available.
Best
what
available.
Position are we drafting in 6?
I would say again, we'll have to look at the value of what's there. I mean, there's a lot of backs right now. We've got 3 backs, so I don't think we need to worry about back for a while. We can look at quarterback here. We can look at tight end here. We can look at wideout here for our third wideout. There's a lot we can look for here because now we've got 3 solid backs. We don't need much back depth at this point.
Okay. We start 1 back.
It's 2 backs a week.
2 backs.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of wide receivers coming off now.
So on week 9 we can start Ingram.
Yeah.
And Collins. In week 10 we can start Berkeley and might have to do waivers for week 10 running backs. So I know I just asked this, but what do you draft in 6? Because it's gonna be our pick here, so
Right. We got
2 autopilots after this.
Yeah.
So it's gonna come right to us. Got 3 backs, you said?
Yeah, we've already got 3 backs. We need a third wideout for our starter. Garcon's available. Woods from the Rams. Cooper Kupp from the Rams. Couple good
Garcon is
49er.
okay.
Couple good tight ends available. Walker Rudolph's available for Minnesota.
And
We got Diggs and we got Diggs. So
but I'm afraid on the bye weeks if we get too many on
Okay.
each bye week.
Cousins gone, Garcon gone, Woods gone. Okay, so we're on the clock.
Yank.
Okay, so let's look
Want
here.
a wide out or tight end?
Wideouts, there's Cup, Randall Cobb, Kenny Galladay, Rashard Matthews, Corey Davis.
Cobb? Where's Cobb?
Green Bay.
He's still with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
Yep.
He's always been good. And who just went to the Raiders from
Jordy.
So I think Nelson's a wide out too, right?
Yeah, but he's in Oakland. Yeah.
So with Nelson going to Oakland, how much is Cobb going to step up?
Well, yeah.
And be a higher role
Right.
than Nelson got?
Right.
Could he? You think?
Want to go for Cobb?
Yeah.
All right. Bye week 7.
Because with Nelson being gone, maybe they'll expect Cobb to step up and be
Right.
a higher role.
Right.
Now, Nelson, that's my thought.
Right. All right. I say here in 7. I say here we start.
What's in the quarterback bracket?
Let's see. Ben Roethlisberger, Alex Smith, Jimmy Garoppolo, Andrew Luck, Patrick Mahomes. That's your top 5.
Won't get the burger. I've always liked Ben.
The only thing I worry about with Ben is his injury history. He is very injury prone.
Okay. Where's Garoppolo?
San Francisco. Or oh my gosh, look who's left.
Huh.
Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan. They're all left.
You got Phillip Rivers in one of your
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Wasn't that A minus?
Yes, I did.
What's his buy?
Week 8.
The stacks again. Scare me.
Right.
You know, these same bye week, we get 2 at 10 and 2 at 6. So, what are we gonna have to do there? Stafford is where now?
Stafford's still available.
Okay, but where is he as far as team goes?
He's still on Detroit.
Detroit. Okay, he's always been good.
All
with
right,
Detroit.
let's see. Tight ends: Greg Olson, Jordan Reed, Jack Doyle, Tyler Eifert, Trey Burton. Let's look at quarterback here. Alex Smith, Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, so Roethlisberger's gone. Alex Smith, Jimmy Garoppolo, Luck, Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, or Stafford, Prescott, Rivers, Ryan. Stafford's been good for us in the past. Want to go, Matt? Want to go get Stafford back? Bye week is week 6. All right.
3 at 6. That could be trouble. Let's draft another quarterback that doesn't have week 6.
Yeah, we will.
Should we start one quarterback?
Yes.
In a week?
Yes.
Yeah. That is week 6 is scare me. We're gonna be at. My fear is we have to do a lot of scrambling to replace the 3 we're gonna lose that week. Or do you think that'll be trouble?
It won't be right out of the box.
Then if we have all elite players, who do we drop? That's going to make it hard too. Lesser of the evils, I guess.
What's it going to take for you to switch? What do you need? A selfie? Sure. Maybe we'll take selfie.
I think we go tight end here.
Okay.
Jack Doyle's still available. Trey Burton from Chicago.
Doyle with the Colts?
Yes.
Okay. I like Doyle.
Yep. I think he'd be a good one.
He's good on 17.
Yeah.
I've been using him a lot. For some reason, I don't know. I'm actually on a PlayStation 2 kick right now because I just took that out.
Yeah.
Playing that again, but I got Luck and Fitzpatrick on my team. My team on 17.
Doyle, still there.
You know.
All right. All right.
Dang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on autopilot that I can see. Yeah. The only one we actually can't see. Widen that screen just a little bit, because the only one that we can't see is 12. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. So we got 6 teams. We got half the room on autopilot right now. Shoot.
Yeah. That's why it's going so
Nice.
fast. That's why it's going so fast.
So what do you think?
So at this point, it's best value for depth. Yeah, at this point, it's best value for depth.
QB or tight end?
I wouldn't draft a second tight end. I don't. I would draft a second quarterback rather than a second.
We're gonna need another running back and another tight end on week 9. Should be fine.
6 picks. Okay.
So second QB at 9.
Garoppolo's still out there.
Okay.
Luck.
I don't think Luck's even gonna be drafted.
Garoppolo, Luck, Mahomes, Prescott, Rivers, Ryan. That's your next group. The thing that worries about Garoppolo, though, is his sample size has been so small.
What's that?
We haven't seen him over a full season.
Is he gonna start?
He's going to start, yeah, but it's only been for San Francisco for 5 games. Granted, he hasn't lost, but I worry that his sample size is just so small. Here's the thing: we're not drafting him to be our starter. Like Stafford's going to be our starter. So
Well, he started with New England and led him to
all right, we're on the clock.
3-1.
True.
So he won 5 in San Francisco and 3.
So you would be okay with Garoppolo as our backup?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Well, his sample size, I'll use your word. His sample size with San Francisco is small. But think of what he's done with New England and San Francisco.
True. Bye week is week 11.
What? He's started now for 9 games.
Yeah.
And he's 8-1 as a starter.
True.
Those 9 games. So that's still good numbers.
No, I agree. That's still good numbers. I agree.
Yeah.
I know. At this point, it's
What do we need?
at this point we need depth. We need I'd say probably one more back, and I would say maybe 2 more backs and 2 more wideouts. I would say. Well, no. I'd say probably 1 more back and 2 more wideouts.
And draft our kicker and defense.
And defense in 13 and 14. Yep, correct.
Well, depending on the trend. It's already coming back to us. We'll be on the clock real quick.
He's there.
Don't sing it.
I won't sing it. Never mind. All right.
He's off.
Yeah.
Whoever. Who are you looking at?
I was hoping for Will Fuller, and he went 2 picks before.
Uh-huh.
All right. Corey Clement from Philly. Allen Robinson. That wouldn't be bad. Ooh, Chris Hogan from New England. That'd be a good one to get back.
We've had him.
We've had Hogan in the past. Yep.
How do you do?
You did pretty darn well with Brady. Well, remember, Brady's his quarterback.
Yeah.
We
are drafting another.
We need a 4th wide receiver. We need a 4th wide out.
Okay.
Look at the wide outs here. Yeah, Allen Robinson, Hogan. Let's see about Hogan.
Now, what are you looking at here? Oh, the schedule? Or
Of the 9 games he played last year, Hogan scored double digits of fantasy points in a standard league in 4 of them. I say get Hogan back.
4 out of 9?
Yeah. Brady's his quarterback.
But what was his double digit? 10, 10, 10, 10?
No, he killed for us last year. You got
Okay,
10 seconds.
of the 4 games we
Better
started.
pull the trigger.
Okay.
Got it.
We had 10 seconds left.
Yes.
Of the 4 games he started for us, you mean? Or of the 4 games he started?
In general, he's by his week 11.
Okay. 11.
Again, at this point, I'd say they're running backs or wide receivers, depending on what's there.
We have 4 wide receivers.
We have 4 wide outs. We have 3 backs.
And we start how many wides?
3 wides and 2 backs.
Okay. We have 3 backs already. First round, 4th round, 5th. We already have 3 running backs, though.
But do you remember we won't have 1 available till week 5?
Okay.
You got to keep that in mind.
Ingram.
Yeah.
Want to go back?
Yeah, I'm thinking back here.
Goodness, I don't want to jinx it, but this might be the shortest draft ever.
Yeah, it probably will be. Yeah, right.
We got a third of the room on
Autopilot, yeah.
That's helping. Check the running backs.
Devontae Booker, Kerryon Johnson, Isaiah Crowell, Austin Eckler, Ronald Jones. Yeah, but that was when he was in Cleveland. We haven't had him when he was a Jet. Bob Powell, Duke Johnson.
And also reminded us after practice that he said he and they had the greatest 3-year stretch of any quarterback, tight end in NFL history. Dan, he said that's self-explanatory. So mic drop there. I guess we'll leave it at that. Yeah, hard to argue with that one. Tiffany Blackman.
There goes Luck, round 11.
Wow.
Tight Allen Robinson. Okay. Devontae Booker, Kerryon Johnson. He's the rookie out of Detroit. Crowell, Austin Eckler, Ronald Jones, rookie out of Tampa Bay.
Okay.
My concern on Booker is will he win the starting job? Well, here we go. He's expected to be with rookie Royce Freeman for the starting job. He's still worth drafting with a mid to late round pick, even in the number 2 role. And he should. And Denver's offense should improve with Case Keenum at quarterback.
Okay.
I think he's worth a shot. If he gets the starting job, it pays off as a big pick.
He's a shot late.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's worth it.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Bye week is week 10.
One more receiver than kicker and defense.
Yep. Let's see, that's where we go.
Matthew Stafford's bye is
Week 6.
Garoppolo's
week 11.
Okay.
So we're pretty well spaced out there.
Yeah.
I think we got really fortunate there.
Yeah. Waivers if either of them gets hurt.
Right.
I guess.
Still turf.
That's what.
Yeah, right. He wanted to practice golf. From the guys we're gotten, I always mention this. Nelson freaking Aguilar. Corey Davis last year, he sucked.
Yep. Drafted.
Amir Abdullah.
Ah,
that name, poison.
yeah.
And he's no longer the starter in Detroit.
Yeah, but these were rookies all drafted to be starters.
That's why you don't want to buy. You don't want to draft too many rookies. That's the problem. You can draft one if they're in the right situation. Yeah, I think Barkley's in the right situation. Okay.
And CBS will give us a grade on, or no, where you go?
I go to Pro Football Guys. Yep, to get the grade. Yes. Yep. I
hope we get a good one.
I hope so too.
They're gonna
on the clock. My Horned Frog is there. Dotson.
Okay. Rook.
No, second year.
How'd he do?
Big year for Josh Doxson entering his third season in the NFL. Need to have a breakout campaign. Expected to start in a revamped receiving core. Feature much more in 2018. He's worth drafting. He's number 4 in all formats, a late round pick.
Get him.
Love him. My boy Doxson.
I know you just pissed yourself.
Horned Frog, baby. I remember when he was a Horned Frog.
What is it?
No, the double knuckle. Yeah, these two. Yes.
I just did the rock on.
Yeah. Yes. Squirt blood out of the eyes. Yeah. All right. Now we look for kicker and DST.
Do we want to do DST
first?
Which we could probably go either way. Do we want defense first or kicker first?
Well, it depends on what's there.
Every defense is there because nobody other than the Baltimore dude.
Kickers left is Elliott from Philadelphia, Lutz from the Saints, who we've had before. Vinatieri's available.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Get his if he's there.
Yeah. As long as he's there, we'll get Vinny.
Come on, boys.
No hope.
Come on, boys. Draft your defenses first.
Yeah, right. Or more depth. Some people are still picking more depth. That's okay. It's okay. There's no wrong strategy.
So how many people have picked kickers and stuff?
I saw a few come off, but not very. Yeah.
You have to sweat for like 5 minutes.
Right.
And who's the guy right before us?
Insane again. Mike M. Smeagol's again. He's always slow. He took more and I took Mariota. Okay.
QB going
This late. Yeah, he really waited on a QB. Yeah, or unless it's a second QB. I don't know if it is or not. But all right, Benny.
Yes, if he's there.
He's there.
Get his
Yes. Yes.
you.
Yes.
He's always been good. Like I
Yes.
told my dad when he said Vanderjet's the most accurate field goal kicker in history, I said I'd rather have Vinatieri in the clutch any day and nothing.
Right.
It was like his look that day when I said that was I concede. What did Vanderjet do? Miss a 25-yard field goal to put us in the Super Bowl potentially. Missed it. You know,
Right.
it's like well within his range, and he hooks it 10 feet left. But then, a few years later, Vinatieri kicks a field goal against his former team to help us get in. Because do you remember we beat New England with Vinatieri at Lucas Oil? These
Right now, top 5 available: Falcons, Patriots, Seahawks, Panthers, Packers.
say what? Top 5?
Falcons,
Mm,
Patriots,
I don't know.
Seahawks, Panthers, Packers.
Those are Packers. Oh wow, we're on the clock
Defense
already.
added big lineman Wilkerson, drafted a pair of rookie cornerbacks, early round picks, re-signed a defensive back,
We're on the clock already.
37 sacks last year. Start season off with 3 or 4 games against the Bears,
Right.
Washington, and the Bills. Got to a pretty good start.
Rank BST 13th. Strength of schedule 11. You know anybody better? By week 7.
They actually have a pretty favorable schedule. Like they don't play too many top offenses this season.
Get them
so
for our last then.
I'm good with that. All right.
And we are done.
Yeah. And their bye week's week 7. We already have a Packer. Well, I'll say this. It might not be like best draft ever, but I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
Because we got
Maybe it will be our best draft ever because we
Right.
got elite guys
got
at all positions.
yes, yeah. We got proven guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it is our best draft ever.
Yeah.
Maybe not so many huge crank out names,
right.
but
No,
consistent dudes.
consistent dudes. And I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
So quarterbacks, Stafford and Garoppolo. Running backs, Barkley, Collins, Ingram, and Booker. Wideouts, Michael Thomas, Stephon Diggs, Randall Cobb, Chris Hogan, Josh Doxson.
Huh.
I think we're most loaded at wideouts, to tell you the truth. Those are touchdown scoring guys.
And we want to be loaded at wide.
Yes, yeah. Tight end is Jack Doyle, who can definitely find the end zone. Way better than the Colts backup Eric Ebron. Dude, he has drop ball syndrome, literally, like Ebron. Like
Ian Rappaport.
yeah. Ebron drops so many balls, it's ridiculous.
Carson Wentz will not participate in team drills until he's cleared for contact. I thought he was better.
He's on the road to recovery, but yeah, he won't until he hadn't been cleared for contact yet. He's been doing like the individual drills and stuff like that, but not actual contact. Then kicker Vinatieri, DST Green Bay. I'm pretty happy with that. I really am.
Last minute of the 2018 draft.
Yep.
Come on, Smeagol. It can't be that hard.
You would think it wouldn't be that hard.
Freaking silly hot.
And that's it. Completed. Draft is over. And Eric Ebron was the last pick. Are you crazy? Eric freaking Ebron.
Less than
An hour. Yeah. Eric Ebron is the last pick, Smeagol. Wow. Okay. Enjoy his drop balls all season.
6:15 to 7:05. 50 minutes.
Wow.
That has to be the shortest draft ever.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, looking back, I mean, we'll look at the roster grid too, but looking back at what took place, round one, which I knew there was going to be, it was mainly all running backs. Round one, only 2 wide receivers. Antonio Brown, I can understand. Julio Jones went in round one. That I thought that was like a bit of a reach because I feel like Julio could have been available in the later rounds, but Titans for Life took him at 11, so that was a bit of a surprise. But every other pick was running back.
Yeah.
Round two, actually, someone did take Aaron Rodgers second round. That was again big surprise, and again it was Titans for Life. He did a lot of reaching. Maybe
not because he got some big name guys.
Then more running backs. McKinnon, Dalvin Cook went in round 2. Hopkins went. So there's one wide out. Then LaShawn McCoy. I'm surprised he went in round 2 because he comes with a bit of a risk because he's dealing with some off the field drama right now. So there might be a suspension looming. Maybe
McCoy is
Buffalo.
What drama?
There was a situation. I forget what it was off the top of my head. Let me take a look here real quick. I want to say it was like, I don't know if it was like fight related or domestic violence related or something like that. It was something to that effect. I'm surprised he went that early in round 2. Oh yeah, his girlfriend. Yeah, ex-girlfriend. There was a thing with his ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah, he's facing some serious accusations following a break-in at a home he owns that left his ex-girlfriend injured.
Oh, she wouldn't let him in.
She was struck in the head with a firearm and suffered injuries to her wrist when the suspect attempted to remove her. Yeah. And suffered injuries to her wrist when the suspect attempted to remove her jewelry. So
he broke in. Did he break into the house?
She absolutely thinks that Mr. McCoy had something to do with it. She believes anyone else involved was likely contacted by someone else on behalf of Mr. McCoy.
Why would you say, hey, break into my house and hurt my girlfriend?
Right.
I don't know about that.
And after 2 weeks of investigating, they still haven't named any possible suspects.
I don't know about that. If it wasn't him.
So, yeah, I was quite surprised he went there in round 2. Yeah. Then we got Thomas.
Erlicher?
Yeah. And then more wideouts went. Keenan Allen, Odell Beckham. Actually, Tom Brady went in round 2. That's wow. And A.J. Green, Devontae Adams. So, again, a lot of wideouts in round 2, occasional running backs, and occasionally Rodgers and Brady. I can understand that they go early as quarterbacks. That's no surprise. Round 3, saw a couple more quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson went in 3. Breeze went in round 3. Tight end Travis Kelce. I can understand that, I guess. Robert Brazil.
Okay.
He spoke first. Jordan Howard, the running back, he went. Wide receivers, again, T.Y. Hilton, Diggs. Gronk went in round 3. I can understand that. Then a couple more running backs and wideouts. Tevin Coleman, Demaryius Thomas, Amari Cooper, Jay Ajayi, Mike Evans. So, again, a lot of more of these heavy depth guys, round 3. Round 4, Cam Newton came off here. More running backs. Kenyon Drake went here. Derrick Henry, Lamar Miller. Tyreek Hill went here. I can understand that. Doug Baldwin. And we got Collins. Then Mixon. Jarvis Landry went off here. Adam Thielen, more wide receivers. Jimmy Graham went here, the tight end from Green Bay. And then Golden Tate. So, again, mainly more wideouts and a couple more backs, with the exception of Newton, the only quarterback there that went round 4. and again, round 5. The craziest pick to me, round 5. What are you doing taking a DST in round 5?
Oh, Baltimore?
Gooby. No, the Goobies took the Jaguars DST in round 5. Hurting your depth at other positions, you moron. But Fitzgerald was taken there. Watkins, wide receivers.
Here's Terrell Owens, writers and sports.
Yeah. Marvin Jones, Smith-Schuster. Then we got Ingram. Josh Gordon went here. Again, and Josh Gordon, his future's up in the air because he's not even with the Browns team right now. He's back in either relapse, rehab, what have you. That's a risky pick. Then Russell Wilson, Zach Ertz, Philly tight end went here. Alshon Jeffrey, Michael Crabtree, and Devin Funchess. So again, mostly wide receivers went in round 5. Round 6, again, another surprising pick there. Sony Michel from New England, the running back rookie, went in round 6. But there's a lot of question marks now about him, about his knee issue. So that was a surprising pick to me. Evan Ingram, Carson Wentz went in round 6. So again, but a lot of question marks with him.
He's not cleared
He
yet.
haven't cleared yet. So again, that's a big question mark. Yeah, Kirk Cousins went here. Pierre Garcon went here. Robert Woods, the Rams receiver, and then we got Cobb. Delaney Walker, the Tennessee tight end. I was debating about him too at round 6, but we got Doyle later on, so that was good. Kyle Rudolph went here. And Goobies again making a reach. Goobies takes a DST in round 5 and a kicker in round 6. You are a Goobie. It's a perfect name. Tackle. See? Josh Gordon, not even with the team right now.
Not expected to return before Tuesday.
Yeah. So, not even with the team. So, Goobie, that fits your name. You are a Goobie for taking a DST in round 5 and a kicker in round 6. You're missing out on your value, man. Marshawn Lynch went in this round. That's quite surprising. And then Darius Geis. Round 7, the Rams defense went here. Emmanuel Sanders, Cooper Kupp, Chargers defense. So DST started going here. That's surprising. Roethlisberger went here before we wanted him, but then we got Stafford instead, but that's fine. Alex Smith went here. Greg Olson, Vikings defense. Again, surprising. Jordan Reed. Kenny Galladay went here. Rashard Matthews. So some good players went in that round too. Jordy Nelson went in round 8. Rookie Royce Freeman from Denver. Rex Burkhead went here. Sterling Shepard, Giants receiver. Chris Thompson. Deion Lewis from Tennessee went here. Then we got Doyle. Other New England running back, James White. Jared Goff went here. The Rams quarterback. Robbie Anderson, Titans defense. And George Kittle, the San Francisco tight end. Couple surprises in that round. Then round 9, Smeagol took a kicker. Matt Bryant, Atlanta kicker. Then Rivers went in 9. Marlon, and again, Gooby took Marlon Mack. I don't understand. Okay, the Goobies draft is the most confusing draft I've ever seen. I mean, I don't get his draft strategy. I really don't. Good luck with Marlon Mack, dude. Really, honestly. Good luck with that. No, that's the guy that Irsay says is going to rush for 1,500 yards. And if he does, I'll shave my head.
You know what? No. How about this? You say
if Mack rushes for 1,500, yeah, I'll go bald.
How about this? If Mack rushes for 1,500, let me shave your head.
Oh yeah.
No,
you get the Clippers. Yeah. I'll hand you the Clippers. Exactly.
Hey, you heard it here, folks. We're still alive.
Yeah.
He's gonna let me shave his head.
Yeah. If Mack hits 1,500 yards, if Irsay is by some wild chance right for once in his life, then
you drunk lush.
Yeah. Then okay. Let's see what else here went around 9. Brandon Cooks, Matt Breida, surprising. Then we got Garoppolo, Rashad Penny, the Seahawks rookie running back, Jamal Williams from Green Bay. Matt Ryan went in this round. Tariq Cohen, Corey Davis. Of course, he'll draft Corey Davis Titans for life because he's a Titan. Homer. Good luck with him. He was a bust last year.
Yeah.
Good luck with him. He was on our team. He
Corey
sucked.
Davis.
Yeah, he sucked ass.
1 week and what? Donut?
Pretty much. He was
1,
terrible.
2 weeks, 2 donuts. Or something.
And then Tyler Eifert went in this round. That's surprising, too, that Cincinnati tight end, because he's dealing with a back injury. And it's been plaguing him for seasons.
Okay.
Round 10, Cardinals defense went. Tyrell Williams from the Chargers. It's not a bad pick. Marquise Goodwin. He was good for us last year. Alan Hearns. Will Fuller. Oh, I would have loved that. Yeah, I wanted Fuller in round 10, but he went off. Yeah, I wanted Fuller. Harrison Butker, the Chiefs kicker. Then we got Hogan, but Hogan's still a good pick. Robbie Gould, the Ravens defense went in round 10. Edelman, Eagles defense, and then Greg Zerline, the Rams kicker.
Yeah.
Round 11, Corey Clement, the Eagles running back. Prater went in round 11. There's Luck. Again, Goobies drafting Luck.
Must be a Colts fan.
I don't get his strategy. Yeah, because he drafted Mac and Luck. That's right. I don't. Wow.
Who's got the drop ball syndrome? You said?
Ebron, and that was the last pick by Smeagol.
Oh, yeah.
Carlos Hyde went in this round. Allen Robinson. We got Booker, Johnson, Steelers defense, Trey Burton, Crowell, Eckler, Ronald Jones. Then Calvin Ridley went in round 12. I had my eye on him, but he's been having a big year in Atlanta. Bilal Powell, Marquise Lee. Somebody drafted Aguilar. Stupid. You're stupid. Okay, Buff Bills. Good luck with that one. Mahomes, Chris Boswell, Steelers kicker. Then we got Doxson, which I think is a steal. Duke Johnson. Tucker went 2 picks after we took Doxson. Tucker, the Ravens kicker. Yeah, he went 2 picks after we took Doxson. That's okay. We got Vinatieri out of it. Ty Montgomery. Someone drafted Hunter Henry.
Who?
He's out for the year, you moron. Jim's Jets drafted Hunter Henry. He's out for the year with a torn ACL.
Already, and it's only like the 3rd week of training.
It happened earlier in the year. It happened even in OTAs. Jim's Jets does not watch football. Some of these people are just morons. In round 13, Mariota, Ted Ginn, Aaron Jones, O.J. Howard. Quincy Enunwa got drafted. He has a neck issue. Then we got Vinatieri, Paul Richardson, Will Lutz. Buff Bills drafted C.J. Anderson.
Another best.
Wrong. Something wrong with that.
I'm telling you. If we don't at least have a good record, and probably at least
Especially within our division.
roster grid.
Who's on each roster? He is his backup, as in a backup that won't even play the whole season, won't even play the season. So he has no backup tight end, really.
Graham gets hurt. He's screwed.
Yeah, he is screwed. Just got to look for waivers. Okay, I'd have to see again who is in our division. Okay, we've got Hay 1 and 31 ain't that bad. Titans for life and Smeek. So let's look here. How about Hay 1 and 31 ain't that bad? He's got Jared Goff as his quarterback. Blake Bortles as his backup. So he's got 2 decent quarterbacks. His running backs, Jordan Howard, Kareem Hunt. Those are 2 solid backs. Carlos Hyde's his backup. There's no guarantee that Hyde's even going to start in Cleveland. His wide receivers are pretty good. He's got Beckham, Marvin Jones, Jarvis Landry, Brandon Cooks. So he's got a decent crop of receivers. Kyle Rudolph, his tight end, is good. Howard's his backup. Nah. Tucker's his kicker. Chargers DST, Ravens backup. That's a decent team. That's probably about the same level as us. You know, loaded at wide out, pretty good backs. QB's okay, but can put up numbers. Tight end is solid. That's probably on the same level as us. I'm not too worried about him.
Hay 1 and 31 was the top.
Right here. Yeah, this
He's
guy.
only got
This guy. Yeah,
Who's the top? Hashtag I hope I win more than the Browns.
he's not in our division.
Yeah, but he's only got one quarterback.
Cam Newton. Yeah, what he did, he loaded up on other positions. He loaded up on backs and receivers.
Okay.
He only has one. Yeah, he has one quarterback in Newton, one tight end in Eifert. That's a risk.
And there's 4 divisions.
Yeah, or no, 3. 4 teams each division. Well, yeah, Elliott kicker, Cardinals DST. He loaded up with the backs and the wide receivers. His backs are Devontae Freeman, Christian McCaffrey. Those 2 are playmakers alone. That's 2 good backs though.
Plus 1 wild card McPlays.
His reserves, I think he has a really weak bench of wide receivers with Sony Michel, Dante Foreman, who's coming off an Achilles injury. Michel just had a knee procedure, and Ronald Jones is a rookie in Tampa Bay. So that his bench is not great.
Okay.
Wide receivers, he's got Rashard Matthews, Devin Funchess, Mike Evans is probably only consistent wide receiver he's got. He's got Jordy Nelson as a reserve. That's a steal. And then Calvin Ridley in Atlanta, who might break out. So
All right, let's just do divisions. Smeagol.
Let's look at Titans for life. Well, Aaron Rodgers is quarterback. That's scary enough. That's his only quarterback. So if Rodgers gets hurt again, he's screwed.
Again?
Do you remember he missed most last year, broken collarbone? Remember? His running backs, Jay Ajayi, Kenyon Drake. Okay, there's a lot of uncertainty with those 2 guys because Ajayi is in a loaded backfield in Philadelphia. Sproles, Wendell Smallwood. So Ajayi's one guaranteed to get all the touches. So that's not great. Kenyon Drake, I think Miami drafted a rookie to compete with him. So that's not a guarantee. And they got Frank Gore in Miami now too.
Oh, okay.
So that's not a guarantee. So his backs don't impress me.
When is he going to retire?
Gore? Hard to say. His backups, Royce Freeman, rookie. Austin Eckler, not great. Bilal Powell, oft injured. So not impressed by his backs. Now his wide receivers, he's got Julio Jones. That scares me enough. Kenny Golladay, he's the 3rd option in Detroit, but he might break out this year, so maybe. Michael Crabtree, I think now is in Baltimore. Yes, so that could be a little scary. Yeah, Corey Davis, no, and his other back was Tyrell Williams, maybe not. Evan Ingram's his tight end. That's a good tight end. Forbath is his kicker from Washington. Yes. And then the Cowboys defense. So there's a couple things to be scared about in that roster, but not much. I'm not that petrified of him. I'm more petrified of 1-31 ain't that bad than him. Because his roster is about on par with ours. Now Smeagol's got some talent. Smeagol could be scary. Because Deshaun Watson's his quarterback and Mariota's his backup. And those 2 alone can not only make plays through the air, they can make plays with their feet. So his quarterbacks definitely scare me.
Who's he?
Deshaun Watson from Houston and Marcus Mariota from Tennessee, AFC South. Yeah. So that worries me. His running, so Bell is scary enough, but his second running back, not unless Geis breaks out, he's not going to have a strong number 2, but that depends on he's hinging a lot on Geis to be his number 2. So he's hoping that he gets the start in Washington. His wide receivers are all really good. Golden Tate, number 1 in Detroit. Larry Fitzgerald, number 1 in Arizona. Devontae Adams, number 1 in Green Bay. Yeah, that's a loaded receiving core. I don't know how he snagged all that, but he was picking first, so that's probably why. He's picking first and last in the draft in each round, so that's probably why. So that's going to be scary. He's got who's D Moore? I don't know who Moore. Oh, DJ Moore, the rookie in Carolina. Okay, he's the reserve. But he might not have to change that top 3 very much, if at all, except for the bye weeks. His tight ends suck because he drafted Ebron for some unknown reason. And then Kittle's his starter. Kittle did okay in San Francisco, not great, but here's a good here's the thing. We won't have Garoppolo because we got Garoppolo on our roster. So no stack for him.
Yeah.
No stack for you, Smeagol. Kittle, the San Francisco tight end. We got Garoppolo, so no stack for him. Then Bryant is his kicker. He's got two. I don't understand why he has two kickers, but he has two good kickers. He's got Bryant and Zerline, two good kickers. And he drafted the Rams, which the Rams are very good. So
I'd say Smeagol scares the crap.
Smeagol, I'd say, is the scariest in our division. Hay 1-31 is second. I would say definitely Titans for Life is the weakest.
So we'd be third.
Not necessarily. I think we can make a case for at least second.
Which would be the what? Second spot, isn't it?
You'd have to be the best, yeah. But we'd have, in order to win the division, we'd have to beat Smeagol twice. I think we'd have to beat him twice. I think Smeagol's going to be the scariest.
Beat everybody twice.
Probably, but I still feel really good where we're at. I still am pretty happy with what we've done.
Okay, then look at the pro.
Sure, yeah, sure.
You have to type in your roster.
Yes. And actually, I'm probably gonna do that. Let's see what I'm gonna do here. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Pro football guys. It might not be profootballguys.com. I have to search for it. Oh, here we go. Footballguys.com. Here we go. Okay. Where's the Rate My Team feature? Here we go. Rate My Team. Bingo. Okay. Rate My Team. Okay. Number of players per team is 14. Number of teams in the league is 12. How many teams in the playoffs? 4. Playoff weeks 15 and 16. Standard lineup. Yep. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wideout, 1 tight end. Yep, that's right. Okay. Points per passing yard, 1 per 25. Points per passing touchdown, 6. Points per reception, -2. Points per rushing yard, 1 per 10. Yep, that's right. That's right. Yep. It's not PPR. Points per fumble, -2. Points per field goal, 3. Extra point, 1. Standard defense scoring. Yep, fumble recovery, 2. Interceptions, 2. Sack is 1. Okay. Add your players here. Okay. Barkley. Thomas. Michael.
Oh, so you
Biggs.
start typing in and it pulls it.
Yep. Collins. Ingram.
By last name?
Yeah, I do it by last name. Stafford. Doyle. Garoppolo has 2 P's. Hogan. Booker. Dotson. Military. And Packers defense. NightHawks. And email address. And then they already have my email. Rate my team. Okay. Sending you an email from our records, which I always do, but here's the link. Okay. All right. So they have 4 different raters. They have David Dodds, Moriel Tremblay, Bob Henry, Jason Wood.
Okay.
So this is based on David Dodds. He's like the main guy at Football Guys.
Okay.
Your receivers are the strongest part of this team. While no team can be expected to be above average at all 3 core positions, you're in the precarious position of being a bit weak at 2 of them. Not sure why it says that. Although he should not be counted out yet, you may need to be active on both the waiver wire and in trades to turn this team into a legitimate contender. The best way to achieve that might be sacrifice some of your wide receiver strength to gain multiple players that can help your roster now. It's generally easier finding quarterbacks and wide receivers on the waiver wire than quality running backs. Keep an eye out for quarterbacks like Jared Goff from last year, Dak Prescott from 2016, and Blake Bortles from 2015. All were available cheap in August and all contributed to fantasy championship teams. Likewise, running backs like Alvin Kamara and Deion Lewis could be had dirt cheap at the draft or shortly after. You're likely going to need to land some of this year's top waiver plays to pay close attention to increased workloads, targets, injuries, etc. Players we like on this team include Devontae Booker, Chris Hogan, and Stephon Diggs. We have all these guys ranked ahead of where they're typically being drafted. So bottom line, with great in-season management, we have about a 55% chance of making the playoffs. With good management, a 40% chance, and with average management, a 21% chance. Quarterback summary. We have Matthew Stafford rated number 8 among quarterbacks, which makes him a less than stellar starter in this league. But we like the selection of our number 14 rated quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, to go with him. Hopefully between the two of them, you should be able to cobble together some good production at the position, but the strategy always carries with it the downside that you'll drive yourself crazy trying to decide who to start from week to week. Incidentally, these two have a pretty nice combined schedule, though their playoff schedule isn't so great. If you simply play the one with a better matchup each week, this is the schedule you'd face. Jets, San Francisco, then New England, Dallas, Green Bay back-to-back, Miami, Arizona, Oakland, Giants, Carolina, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Arizona, Seattle, Chicago. But note that this is David Dodd's thoughts. Now others have different takes. Some members of our staff have Matthew Stafford ranked as high as 5th, which would make him above average. Matt Waltman defends his high ranking as follows. Marvin Jones, Golden Tate, and Kenny Galladay are a good trio of receivers, and Detroit's offensive line is one of the most athletic in the league. Add rookie Kerryon Johnson to the ground game, and Stafford has the best surrounding talent he's played with on the offensive side of the ball. Running back summary. We like Alex Collins as a second running back, but we consider your starting running backs as a group to be a little below par. Our projections have Saquon Barkley ranked 10th. That's surprising. And Collins ranked 18th. Your bench looks good, and we should help you offset the unexciting starting unit. Not only do we like Mark Ingram as a third running back, we love that you stole him from the Alvin Kamara owner. Not only do we like Mark Ingram as a third running back, we love that you stole him from the Alvin Kamara owner. Who I think is the guy that picked before us. Yes, because Kamara went right before the 6th pick, so I had to get Barkley. But, yeah, so that would be insane again, so we stole him from him. Devontae Booker is a solid depth pick. Wide receiver summary. Depth is a serious concern, but we do like your starting group, particularly Stephon Diggs as a second receiver. Michael Thomas is our number 6 ranked receiver. Diggs is 14, and we have Chris Hogan 29th. Your bench also looks good. Randall Cobb should serve as a very solid 4th receiver. We're not sure that Josh Doxson adds much. He's already strong at the position, and we aren't convinced he's roster-worthy in this league anyway. I doubt that completely. But others have different takes. Some members of our staff have Michael Thomas as high as 4th, which would make him an above-average first receiver. Again, Matt Waldman defends his high ranking as follows. He's a high-volume option with big playability due to the effectiveness of the play-action game, his route running, and Drew Brees' pinpoint accurate arm. Some of our staffers have Doxson as high as 41, which would make him a great 5th receiver and even a legitimate wide receiver 4, which is the way I see him. Phil Alexander's take.
41's good.
It's good enough to be roster-worthy, yes. That's the way I see him.
41 out of how many?
Well, there's several wide receivers in the league.
Okay.
A mediocre season-long stat line masks the fact Doxson didn't become an every-week starter until week 7. From that point forward, he finished inside the top 40 wide receivers despite being deployed almost exclusively on deep routes or in the red zone. Doxson led Washington in both red zone targets and targets from inside the opponent's 10-yard line last season, which speaks to his touchdown potential. This year, it appears Doxson's route tree will be expanded and should catch the ball with better efficiency on his deep routes by virtue of a now healthy Washington offensive line, giving Alex Smith enough time to throw accurately downfield. It wouldn't be surprising to see Doxson put it all together in year 3 and finish in the fantasy wide receiver 2 range.
Nice.
And if that happens and we get him in round 12, that's a steal. Tight end. You might get by with only Doyle, but some additional help here probably wouldn't hurt. Kicker summary. We don't think Adam Vinatieri is starter quality in this league. keep a sharp eye on the waiver wire.
Oh, you're gonna start placing.
Right.
Or are they talking fantasy?
Having elite defenses whose schedules fit well together. Here are a few teams we think may be available and whose schedules fit best for the Packers on the combined schedule that each would create. Packers plus the Patriots, Packers plus the Bengals, or Packers plus the Bears.
So they basically just shit on all our rosters.
Pretty much, except a few. But that's just this guy's perspective. Now there's 3 other perspectives. Now, Muriel Tremblay, so he highlighted our wide receivers.
Okay, how did you get? Okay,
You click on these links. You click on these guys, and they show their thoughts.
Okay.
So it's 4 different guys.
Okay.
So David Dawes likes our wide receivers.
Yeah.
Here's what Tremblay says. We think you're looking good at quarterback and running back. The receiver core is a concern, though. So
Everybody's saying receiver cores.
No, Dodds liked our wide receivers. Dodds liked our wide receivers, hated our backs and that. Yeah. The good news is that of all the weaknesses to have, this one is usually the most survivable. At receiver, it's often relatively easy to find filling guys on a weekly basis until a better player emerges during the season. Last year, wide receivers like Devin Funchess and Nelson Aguilar went undrafted in many leagues. These guys likely helped the finish teams that landed them in 2013. So stay atop the news and watch the target report. Players who like on this team include Mark Ingram and Alex Collins. So here with great management, 70% chance of making the playoffs. So he has our numbers a lot higher than Dodds did.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Oh, we just finished the fantasy draft. We decided to stay home because Sarah was getting a bad headache and she didn't want to be around a lot of loudness and a lot of people.
Berkeley ranked 9th and Collins 15.
So she just told me she got some caffeine, so she thought it was like a caffeine deprivation. I don't know. Well, she thought it was from lack of caffeine because she hasn't been drinking soda that much. She's trying to get off of a lot of the soda. So she, but yeah, she.
Workers has 36. Ooh,
And
that's a great word. We're 9 minutes over 3.
Dense, good stuff. Now, with careers as electric as Ravens Randy Moss, it's no surprise the Hall of Fame speeches brought down the house. The campus moments, yes. The candid conversation.
Yes.
That more, yes, right here. Process. Pizza Hut always had the $7.99 deal you could get delivered. So why go anywhere else? Don't just make it pizza. Make it Pizza Hut Pizza Night and get your favorites delivered. Large 2-topping pizza,
Okay.
just $7.99. Order online now. One more way.
Well,
the most refreshing beer from Sam Adams. Sam 76. Like nothing you've tasted before. You'll have to try it.
well, we were actually planning to do something on the 17th actually because Sarah's off. My birthday's on a Thursday. Sarah works on Thursday and so does Chris, but they both have Friday off. So we were thinking of, Mom, how long do you, like, when do you, 7:30. Saturdays. But Chris and Sarah are both off on Friday. So we were actually thinking of holding off to the 17th. And we were actually thinking about doing Olive Garden on the 17th. Did I tell you I got a free dessert coupon? Yeah. And I have till the 23rd to use it. And since
This is a story about mail and packages.
since they're both off on Friday, we were thinking of just holding it and doing it on the 17th. Since Sarah's off.
Their candy, their business. And while we make more e-commerce business from home than anyone else on earth, never forget that your business is our business.
Yeah, the more the merrier. You know, if we do the Olive Garden, that's what we were planning to do. If y'all want to, like, yeah, if we just, I just gave you the date. If you want to like maybe have me over for a lunch, and then we do Olive Garden on, later in the day, or if you wanted to go to Olive Garden with us for a lunch or a dinner, that's fine with me. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It just matters on like what the timing that works best. You know, if I can. Okay.
Still, you have a pretty good chance of making the playoffs.
Like, here's what I was thinking. We might go if you're thinking supper time to do something at your house. I was thinking maybe like go to Olive Garden for a lunch, and so I can use the cake coupon, and then come to your house for supper. Yeah. That might work. Okay. Okay. You like sloppy joes?
Me, not really. No.
Okay. Mom wants to do like a supper type deal on Friday.
No.
He don't like sloppy joes too much, so if we go to Olive Garden for lunch, I'd suggest eating a heavier lunch for you.
Right.
You like hamburger off the bun, right?
Well, yeah, yes.
He likes hamburger. He likes. You like ketchup. Do you home make your sloppy joes? Oh. Hamburger, mustard, ketchup, and a little brown sugar. But in Mom's sloppy joes, you really can't taste the mustard. So yeah, she doesn't do like manwich. No. So if anything, I just said, hey Chris, you might want to. We go to Olive Garden for lunch. He might want to eat a heavier lunch if he's not going to eat so much for supper. But he'll eat chips and cake and stuff. Yeah, well, he's got a very sensitive palate. I've seen him almost throw up on a smell before. I had him smell my yakisoba, and he's almost threw up. Yeah. Okay. It was good. So, but I wanted to be able to express with my time to let these families know that they're not alone. I'm not here. Yeah, we're checking the attend here regular box and wish to join the church. They do the same thing. There's a lot of stuff going on in our country, and I just want to let these family members know that they're not alone. Yeah. What you thought about this weekend and events and friendships that you made, and what's maybe lasting for you? I was telling love you too. Mr. Green and Joe Green about those guys paving the way for us. Man. Okay. I'm definitely honored and blessed to be able to love you too. Share with them, be able to put this little jacket on, and I vowed and promised to them for the next generation. Yeah, I guess birthday plans were just made. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I was just looking through their football guys' analysis, and basically they say mostly the same thing. With good management, you have about a 50 to 70% chance of making the playoffs. So yeah,
so that's some high numbers.
Yeah, so I think a lot of them like our team. They and some disagree whether we're some think we're weaker at wide receivers and we're weaker at running back, but for the most part, I think they have high thoughts. Oh, I know, yeah. But like I said, I considering what we got at the positions we got, I'm pretty happy with what we got. So I'm pretty thrilled. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap the stream up. Thank you guys so much for watching, tuning in, and as any kick things off here, we're only 5 Sundays away from NFL regular season football. So FFSR episodes will be coming up very, very soon. So stay tuned for those as always. And good luck on your draft night, whatever it may come. Hopefully this gave you an idea of what to expect and what to come for the trends in your draft as well. And we will see you next time.
We were the night crawlers on our last.
I was telling them that the night name has done well for us.
So maybe the NightHawks. Well,
exactly.
give us another one.
Yep. And it has been 4 years. We've had a 4-year kind of thing. 2010, 2014, 2018. If we keep the trend, it would be time. So
we'll see with this big old thing.
Thanks, guys. Oh, I didn't end it. Okay. Now we're ending it. I thought I ended the stream. I guess I didn't. Okay.